in 10 seconds.
What else? Metal Slug Tactics. And then there's this thing. And then there's this thing.
I've got something for you, Duke.
Huh?
Freedom Fighters. Yeah, a bit of System 7 there for you.
Nope, don't know that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I played that, didn't I? Played that thing. Cool.
Right, we're ready, people.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, close enough. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
What does that mean?
It means he gets results, you stupid chief!
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with soundbite saviors.
There's nary an animal alive that can outrun a grease scotsman.
It's the veteran gamers.
Hack 2.
It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Oh, blah.
Can we sound clip that?
Yeah, boy. Switch that console off before you have to press repeat. Yo.
Why doesn't my life always work out perfectly?
Stop playing this inane garbage. It's embarrassing.
Hello and welcome to episode 778 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 778. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu. There you go.
And I'm Chinny.
I see what you did
And
there.
we are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Blah, blah,
And
blah,
some
blah,
of
blah,
us
blah,
are
blah.
veterans of fighting against authoritarianism when horribleness is all around us, and we do not give up that fight. So if you're involved in that fight against authoritarianism, wherever you are in the world, I'm with you. Let's fight together and keep going.
Yeah, I agree. I can't believe McDonald's
Yeah.
raised the price
Yeah.
of their Happy Meal. It's just ridiculous.
Absolutely. How authoritarian can you get?
I've heard that, I think.
Also, tens of millions of Americans might be deported soon, but
No, but the
McDonald's,
Big Mac meal.
That's
though.
also important. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what about
I
the
don't
Big
mean to
Mac,
take
man?
away
Never
from the
mind
struggle.
that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had a Thanksgiving. It's story time. I'm starting with
yeah,
a story, people. So
Thanksgiving.
shut the hell up and listen to me.
Story time. Fuck yeah.
I had people come up here from Tennessee, which was great because I got to
Tennessee.
see people I hadn't seen in a while. Yeah. Some of you know that my best friend of 30 years, Garrett, passed away about a year ago, and his wife and kids came up with some friends of theirs, and we had a really great time this Thanksgiving. They were only here for like 36 hours. It was crazy, but they drove 9 hours to get here, and then now they're driving 9 hours back. So it was
Only
really nice
there
of
for
them to come and make the
36
trip.
hours. That's a long time
Yeah.
to be at a place.
It's like a day and a half.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
but it was great to see them. And then we went over to some other friend's house and had a Snacksgiving because an email typo once upon a time. People
What
call
a
it Friendsgiving.
hilarious joke.
Oh,
I know, isn't it great? Every time I talk about it,
Unbelievable.
I have to explain it. It's great.
Thanksgiving.
So it was
Good
great,
stuff.
and it was a lot of fun. So shout out to everybody who was involved in that. None of whom will ever hear these words probably, but nevertheless, spreading the love and sharing the joy. And now I'm grading papers like mad because I have to meet with students tomorrow, and I have to have body paragraphs reviewed in their essays about this book we read. So I'm furiously tip tip tap 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 tap.
Cool.
okay. Yeah.
How was your Thanksgiving, Stu?
Yeah, it was great. I was thankful for being alive.
Yeah.
Hell
Do you
yeah!
know?
These days,
Beats the alternative,
These
probably.
days.
these
to be
days,
fair.
that's hard to come by.
It is. It is, to be fair.
Speaking about
Um,
not being alive, by the way,
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
do you remember a podcast called Cranky Gamers? Do you remember this podcast?
Yes, I saw this. It's quite shocking.
Is the chap? Well, I think I spoke to him a couple of times, not very often, but he started the same time as us. A long
They
time
them and
ago.
midlife gamers,
Midlife Gamer,
cranky
yeah,
gamers.
I don't know. I don't know if he ever really knew who we are, but I'm sure I spoke to him a couple of times. But he passed away, didn't he?
Hmm.
Oh no,
Is
that
it-
sucks.
Yeah, which is really sad.
It is sad.
Yeah. So yeah. Where did you see it, Stu?
Someone put it in the Discord.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so I was a bit like,
Yeah.
wow.
I just
But
saw
I,
a,
did,
like a
I listened to the
random-
show a few times in the
Hmm.
early days. I must admit, I've not listened for a long time.
You don't listen to anything now, though, do you?
No, no, I just listen to books.
Yeah.
Books, what a nerd.
And
I
if you
know.
put your ear to a book, it's really quiet, isn't it? Like I don't
It
know how
is.
you do that.
It is.
But
Do you
that's
know,
really,
actually-
that's really sad that he died. I
It
couldn't
is.
believe it. I
It
didn't
is
even know he
sad.
was ill. Like, I don't know. Don't know anything about it.
Well, we
really,
appreciate
other
the
than he
years
died.
of camaraderie and fellow, service to the gaming community.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very sad.
Colin
Very
Allcars
sad.
in the chat says Toz was his name. Yes, Toz. He
Alright.
was a Derby County fan. I know he was. He was.
Okay.
He was quite. He wasn't far from me. I think he was like Nottingham or something. He had a proper thick sort of East Midlands accent. I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really sad. I don't know anything about how he passed away or anything like that. I didn't. even
No,
know.
I don't know
But
any
I
details.
looked on the Cranky Gamers feed, and it was like September last year was his last episode.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he was
Well,
moaning
love to
at-
his family.
He was moaning
Comfort
about
and hugs to
VAR a
everybody
lot
else.
in football. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But that was his thing. He was a cranky gamer. He used to moan a lot. That was his
Yeah.
stick, wasn't it? So super sad.
A
Anyway,
bit like Cranky Duke. We had Cranky Duke, remember, back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
I think
Time for
he's
Cranky Duke.
Cranky Duke's dead as well, isn't he? We killed him.
Yeah,
one time.
He's
Cranky
not been
Duke.
around for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm cranky in the small C sense, but not the capital C. Like
So you-
Cranky Duke calling people and doing crank calls over the phone.
So that's sad, Stu, isn't it? That someone,
It's very
you know,
sad.
Like, it feels
Not
like
that
one
we,
of the-
but no, by association. We know by
When it
association.
rains, it pours, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about that. Just mention that.
Yes.
Mm.
That was
Okay.
it. How do we
Anybody else
move
got
on?
any stories to tell or things, updates
Oh, yeah,
about your
I've-
health or anything?
Yeah, I do have a health thing. We
Okay.
can play the
Uh-oh.
health jingle.
Uh-oh.
Health. It's time to talk about health.
I'm sad about my knees. Sad about my knees. Sad about my knees.
I don't think it
Wow.
needs the second part, Duke.
I quite like the
Sure it
second
does.
part.
No,
I think we need to hear it again.
health. No. it doesn't.
You complain, you
I
get
mean-
more of it. Go
So-
ahead.
How about you
for the-
play it again? Play it again.
Just for the new
No.
listeners, just to let you know that we didn't have this section like a few years ago, but as we get
Yeah,
older,
and then we got old.
the issue of our health seems to come up a lot more often. So we have a health
Yes.
section now, and I, as you two know, I've suffered from allergies.
Yes.
for-
Yep.
for-
Hypochondria as well.
No, not hypochondria, but allergies. So my nose just snots all the time, right? All the
It's a
time.
faucet here with gushing mucous membranes all day,
Yeah.
every day.
And
Yeah.
I've suffered with this for as long as I can remember. As long as I have memories, I've suffered with this. I'm cured.
What? No, you're not.
Look at this.
What?
I can that's both nostrils. Gone.
So what happened? What did you do?
It was
Burning
just a,
candles up his nose. That's what
just
it
a,
was.
just a small rectal thing. No, it wasn't.
Oh, sweet. In
I-
addition to your usual rectal regimen or rectogimen, as you call it.
It's I'm not completely cured, but I found something that works very, very, very well.
Okay.
More
Yeah.
than the shots every once in a while?
Yeah, so the shots, the steroid injections, I was getting a little worried about them, so I stopped doing them because
There's a lot of controversy because I told
Yeah.
someone at work who suffered from hay fever, and I said, "Oh, my mate has this injection every year." So it's amazing, and she
it
went,
is amazing.
"Yeah, there's been some bad press around that. They don't
There
even
is.
do it on the NHS anymore
There
because
is.
it's so dodgy."
Well, yeah, like the NHS ditched them, right? Because they used to be available on the NHS, and then the NHS said, "Nah, fam." And then I looked into it because I'd noticed like I'd feel rough quite a lot, and like it thins your hair as well and stuff like that, and
Really?
damages you. It smooths your skin when you're on it, but then damages it afterwards, and like it can have
Wow.
all sorts of like health sort of
Yeah.
problems down the line. It also can make
Goodness.
you blind and all that sort of stuff. Anyway,
Shit.
uh,
No wonder
but-
they stopped doing
but
it
the-
on the
this-
NHS.
this is
isn't it?
like-
Flipping heck.
this is like chronic use of it though. Like, you know, if you're doing it every 3 months, like non-stop. Whereas I was doing it once a year, so it was probably fine. But yeah, I was just beginning to sort of feel like I was just getting battered like all the time. Like I just didn't feel well all the time. So I've stopped it. And then I went to the doctor about 20 years ago about my hay fever and allergies and stuff. And the doctor just was like, I don't know, antihistamine tablets. Like, have you ever tried those? I was like, well, yeah, but like, whatever. But I went to the doctor last Monday, and he said, why? I said, it was 20 years ago when I last went to the doctor about this. And he says, why? Don't you like doctors? And I was like, no, they just didn't do anything.
No, I hate
for
you
me.
fucking fucks.
And he said,
Can I just ask you a question? When you went to the doctors and you told him your problem,
yeah.
was the first thing he said to you following that? So what do you think it is?
Yeah, well, I mean,
They
I
all
sort-
do that
they-
now. What
yeah,
is
yeah.
that? What do
Yeah.
you think's wrong with
But
you?
he looked up my nose with one of those nosy things, right? And he said, your nose is severely swollen due to
Right.
chronic allergies. And I said, no shit, dickhead. I knew that, right?
See, he should have asked you. You would have known.
I already knew
Yeah.
that bit. So yeah, he said it was like severely swollen due to chronic allergies, and then he was like, yeah, it is swollen. He was just checking that it wasn't something else, and he gave me this nose spray, and I've had loads of nose sprays, right? Like nose sprays all the time, and he was like, have you had this one though? And I was like, I don't know what it is. He said, this is a steroid spray. It is a steroid spray. It's a cocktail, like a Sex on the Beach, Stu. You know what I mean? Like a little,
yeah,
right,
okay,
it's a cocktail. It does
I see where you're going.
It does contain steroids, but it also contains very, very strong antihistamines as well. And the reason why this is better than the injection is because you're only applying it locally to where you need.
Yeah.
the-
Up your nostrils.
Up your nostrils. Yeah. So he says the only drawback is that it might thin your tissue in your nose and basically cause like nosebleeds and stuff. But
So let me ask you a question. Would cocaine have worked the same way?
I don't know really. I didn't try it.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, we
Let
got
me know.
close. We got close on our 2019 EGX trip, didn't we? But
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, yeah, I didn't try it. Yeah, no. Colin Allcar says it's called a thun. I don't know. I don't know if I should say that. It looks rude.
Wait, let me have a look.
It's on Twitch. It's on Twitch, so you'll never
Oh
see.
yeah, Fundicum speculum. Fundicum speculum. There you go.
Useless information. Well, there you are. So I've got this spray. 1 hour. Bear in mind, for the last 7 weeks, I've not stopped sneezing and snotting. I took this spray. 1 hour later, gone.
That's quite impressive, isn't it?
Gone for how long? Like, and how long do you have to keep applying it?
So I apply it twice a day.
Okay.
For 3 weeks, then I have to have a week break. And he says, do that for 2 months. See how you are. And he says, if this works for you, you can just get it on a repeat prescription, and just when it flares
Cool.
up, just.
And
off
You
you
see,
go.
this
was
is
like,
like
wow.
I work with a girl who has really, really bad psoriasis.
Mm.
Right, which all over her body, like arms, legs, like
Yeah.
everywhere, like the worst I've ever seen. And I've worked with her for 7 years now, right? And she's always had it. Has to wear these.
Is that the one where they have
they-
to, they use steroids to cure that, don't they? Is that?
No, it's usually it's autoimmune, so it's your immune
Yes.
system working in
Right.
overdrive. So sometimes it's steroids, sometimes it's other
Well,
stuff. But
technically, that's what that's what hay fever is. By
Yeah.
the way, it's an but it's not autoimmune, but it's your immune system
yeah,
like working too much.
so hers really bad. Been like this for like as long as I've known her.
Mm.
And eventually, right, they have to try everything. They have to exhaust all the other options, right? And then they have an injection which they can inject into you once a month, but it costs about $2,000 an injection. So it's like super expensive, and they won't give it you unless it's like the last resort. You know, this is the
Jesus
last thing we're
Christ.
going to try. It was like a miracle.
Yeah.
She came like within 2 weeks of her first injection, everything had nearly cleared up.
Wow.
And it was just like she said, like it's completely life changing.
Mm.
Because obviously she said, I've had that all my life. She said, I'm even embarrassed to just go out, you know, with the kids
Of
and
course.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, you know, because all people do is just stare at me and look at me and stuff all the time. She said, and to have-
Like you.
yeah, like me.
Yeah,
like
like
me.
you. Like everybody stares
Or,
at you all the time.
You know, or go on holiday even. She said, like, you know, you go on a holiday and you've got shorts or whatever on. She said, and everyone's just looking.
Like
So-
you.
Like me. I'm not surprised with my legs. but it's like literally incredible. You know what I mean? I think she's had 2 or 3 injections now, and there's just like very faint red marks where it all used to
There
be.
you are. It's a big
So
deal.
medical
right.
science,
It's-
man. I tell you, it's
honestly,
What a time
incredible.
to be alive.
When with these allergies and stuff, like it is very disabling when you've got them because there's not much I can do when they're so bad. Like I can't see very well. Like I can't concentrate on anything. My nose is it's awful. It is an
Yeah.
awful thing, and
That
I
sucks.
can't get over how amazing I felt like
Yay.
all week. So yeah, I can't
Yeah,
wait to
you.
find out in about 4 years' time when there's another reason why I can't have this thing, and I'll
yeah.
have to stop having it. You know, when the NHS take this off the.
We're
market.
sorry your wiener fell off, but
What?
don't worry. We got a new
At this point,
treatment.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll take
Take the missing wiener over not having the allergies. There you go. I like that.
You know what?
Tara's like, bullshit. Get him off that shit. I want that shit
I
growing
think
back
we've just
quick.
got the title for this week's show. I'd rather have no wiener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there
Um,
you go.
All right. Anything else before we talk about video games?
No, I haven't got anything. I've had just a like boring
Okay.
week.
Let's move
Where
on
are you
before he
going?
changes his
Story
mind.
time's over.
What you been playing?
After the psoriasis story, I don't know that there's anywhere to go but up.
What you been playing?
Red vines.
I love a red vine.
They're okay. I'm more of a Twizzlers guy, but I was watching a show that mentioned these, and I was like, I've never actually had them, so I bought some, and now I have to eat them all.
Yeah.
I should have given them to my guests and see if they wanted them, because maybe they would have wanted them. Oh well.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
well.
who's going first?
Video
I
games.
don't know.
Uh,
I'll tell you what. I'll go first with not a video game. How about that?
you do that.
You do that.
No,
What
no,
do you
but
mean
I
not
know.
a video game?
It's not a video game because
This is the
it
time
was-
of the show where we talk about video games. That's why
Yeah.
I said, what you been playing?
Fuck that shit. So we had our monthly nerdy board game night last night. So we were
Oh, you've been playing something that's not video.
I've
but
been
it's a
playing
board
some.
game.
It's a board game. I played
Okay,
2
I
board games
gotcha.
last night. We got
I
because
gotcha.
it's been the Black Friday sale, obviously, as we know. So I was like, right,
Oh,
what
yeah.
games can I buy in the Black Friday? So I've been buying.
Gameplay
Hoovering.
magazine called it punishingly intricate.
I've been hoovering up board games off Amazon. I'm like, oh well, time to buy some games. So we played 2 last night. We played Scream the video game,
As in the, you mean Scream the board?
as in
game?
the horror film.
As in every
Scream.
time you move your piece, you just start going,
So you said Scream the video game. You mean the board game?
The board game, whatever. Scream.
Get it right.
The fucking board game, all
Based
right?
on the movie.
Based on the movie.
your point. I'm going to live forever.
There you go. And we also played Star Wars Villainous.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
played Star Wars
Were you a
Villainous.
villain?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the game. The villains win.
Oh, snap. Got it in one.
Fuck Luke Skywalker being good. He gets turned to the dark side. Fuck all that
What?
shit. You know what I mean?
What? That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
canon.
Yeah, that's what happens though in the game.
Fuck that shit, man.
The
I don't like
villains,
that.
the villains win.
But is Yoda cutting up people and children and
No,
making
because he's
orphans
not a
die?
villain, is he?
Neither is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but in the video, I keep saying video game. That's because we're a video game
Stop it.
podcast. In the board
Yeah, it's usually
game,
what we talk about.
in the board game, the villains win. It turns it on its head because it all started with Disney. So there's a Disney villainous.
Evil company, evil heroes.
Exactly, and obviously
Exactly.
that. But we'll talk about Scream first.
Okay. You have to
about
scream all your comments.
This is the perfect party game.
Oh yeah, why is that? Is it
'Cause you
murder
keep-
but with scream?
No,
as the-
it's a fully cooperative, right? So
Okay.
you've got to not get killed by obviously
Okay.
Scream person, and yeah, so the setup is you can have up to 8 players playing at the
Alright.
same time, which would be
Yes.
absolute mayhem.
I'm sure it would. How many did you have?
3. So and that was
Okay.
frantic enough with just 3 of us.
Gotcha.
What was quite
so,
funny
attention
is-
listeners, Stu's looking for more friends. Hang
Yeah,
out
I
with
am.
him.
Good
Yeah, I
luck
am.
with that.
But you download a phone app, and that's how you play the game. So it's all done through your
Oh,
phone.
yeah.
But you have cards, you have what they call scenes, and then there's like places from the film. So there's like the school, the hospital, somewhere else, and somewhere else. There's about 4 different places that obviously you can turn up, and you get a little Scream figure, which is kind of cool. and you've just got to basically survive. And he phones you up, and you put your names in the app, and then it like phone Dan, for instance.
Okay.
Now, what was quite funny before we started playing it, I'm like, and it's the guy who did the voice for Scream, you know, it's the
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And Dan went, well, which one? And I went, what do you mean? And he's like, well, they're all different killers in every Scream film. So which one was it? I'm like, no. There's an actual guy who just does the Scream voice on the phone. There's an actor who just does that bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, you see. But it was
so the important thing is that you were showing off. You knew more about these movies.
Totally,
That's the
totally,
main
dude,
reason.
Totally.
Okay, well, now we finished the reason we were playing this is done. Let's move on.
Can we all stop the game and point out that I was right about the voice actor?
I was right about the voice actor. But the game itself is just brilliant. So you've just got he intermittently.
We're gonna get to the
phones it.
description of the actual game, people.
Yeah,
Don't
sure.
worry, it's happening.
If you
So
don't
you
mind,
Stop
Stu,
going
if
off
you
on
can-
tangents
if
about
you
how
could hurry
brilliant
up
you
and
are.
get there for us.
So you have
Maybe
scene.
people
should think before they speak. Scene cards, right? And then there's popcorn, telephone, stab
Right.
DVD.
Ooh,
And
stab.
what's the other thing? There's 4 different items that you can pick up.
Right.
Okay. And you've basically got to get the right items to finish your scene. And you can do that either by picking up cards from the deck or by trading cards with like the people you're playing with. But it's absolutely frantic because he phones you about every 15, 20 seconds.
Have you
And
put your
you've got-
shoes on yet? You better get going.
That's kind of it, yeah. And he's like,
Put
and
petrol
then
in your car.
every now and again he'll say something like, he'll phone a person individually and say, the next time I phone, you better give me free popcorn or you're dead or whatever.
Oh snap!
And if you haven't got 3 popcorn, you then frantically got to try and get 3 popcorn before he
Yeah,
phones
you better
back.
get that popcorn. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, it was cool. I think as a party game, up to 8 people, absolute mayhem. Excellent.
Would you say it was better than charades?
It's better than charade, yeah, as a party game
Okay.
for sure.
Good to know.
Absolutely for sure.
Okay.
And
Is it better than Glockenspoken?
It's definitely better than Glockenspoken.
I don't know. Glockenspocken's a pretty good game.
So then we played Star Wars Villainous, and that's where it kind of got a little bit more competitive.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What violence?
Not violence,
People
no,
throwing
no, no.
things?
Not really people
Naked
throwing...
violence.
No, not naked violence.
Well, I don't want to hear it then.
But it's a definite, you're fighting against each other, but it's such a good game because the whole point is, right, each villain has a different objective. So there's Darth Vader, obviously.
Yeah. I know him.
Kylo Ren.
Oh yeah.
Asajj Ventress, and I think she's from
Asajj Ventress. Show some respect. She's one of the most interesting characters ever because she had an interaction with Yoda in a book I read, and he was like, "Why'd you turn to the dark side?" And she was like, "Light side, dark side. These are just words, man." She's an ethical nihilist. She's a very interesting character.
Well, anyway, there's her. Moff Gideon.
Nobody cares about him.
Or General Grievous.
Oh yeah, I like him.
He's got cool arms.
He's got like 4 lightsabers.
Well,
one for each arm.
That is true.
I like
Now,
that
what's
guy.
kind of cool, each person has their own objective. So I was General Grievous. My objective was to collect 8 lightsabers. So I had to collect every. So, and the way I did that was by
spare
defeating.
one for each arm, is it?
Correct.
One in his butt.
Defeating all the heroes. So there's a hero deck, and
Suck
then
it, heroes.
you fight them.
There is a video online of somebody edited a version of that fight, but he's got like 68,000 lightsabers in his arms. and stuff.
See, well, you get 8 in this game.
Okay.
And then Dan was Darth Vader.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Darth Vader's thing was he had to obviously turn Luke to the dark side. So that was his objective.
Which he doesn't do because it's his own son. Spoilers.
Well, but in the game you do. In the game you do.
Well,
You
again,
win.
why in the game don't you have Yoda like cutting up people?
Because
from the
Yoda's not a
crotch?
villain. Which bit of
Neither is
you
Luke
have to be-
Skywalker. For God's sake!
No,
if you
but-
could change Luke, why can't you change Yoda?
No, because you're playing as Darth Vader, so he's the villain.
Oh, so you don't? Okay. So you don't play as.
No.
So, whatever. All right, fine.
Oh my god! I didn't
Are
realize
we
this was
aware
so
that this
emotive.
isn't real life?
Yeah, it's just a
No,
game.
it's
man.
much more important than real life.
It's just a game.
Just again, how
based on
dare
a-
you say that? We spend 3 hours every week talking about video games, and now you're going to talk about just games. They mean something, damn it.
Anyway, just a game based on a made-up story. Can we just clarify?
Everything's
made
based
up.
on made-up story. What video game is
No,
it
I
except
know,
for Call
but
of Duty,
Why
World
are
War
you
II?
getting that the villains win for once? I don't know.
Because if you played Harry Potter and it was like, and then Harry Potter started molesting children, you'd be like, wait a minute, what?
Well, anyway, right.
I don't know how you got there, but let's,
Anyway,
let's just,
he got
let's
super
pedal back.
competitive, right?
Does canon
And-
matter or doesn't it?
And you
No.
have a fate deck, right? And on your
Yes.
move, you can choose what moves you can like. There's different parts of your sector,
Uh-huh.
and one of the moves is you can do a fate thing, right? Which is you
Okay.
take 2 cards from your opponent's fate deck, which tends to be something bad for them, and obviously impedes
Yeah.
them winning.
Yeah.
And like Dan was doing quite well. He was way
Okay.
ahead of
And
us
then
too.
you threw something in his path and he was all fucked up.
No, well, we both like Lewis and I were sort of like ganging up in a way to
Yeah.
prevent him from winning the game.
Mm.
But that's what
Open
makes
gang up
this
style.
game so interesting because not only are you trying to complete your own objective, but you're also trying to impede the other players to make sure
It's
you
like
win.
Mario Kart with the red shell.
It is, but it's very, very good. I totally recommend it. It's so
Okay.
good.
Wimpo in the chat says, gonna have to try Scream. The last time Stu recommended something non-video game related, 2 weeks had passed, and I found myself 3 seasons into Slow Horses.
There you go. You see, I wouldn't
Okay.
recommend. By the way, I wouldn't recommend paying the full price. It's on sale on Black Friday at 13 quid, which I thought for 13 quid,
How much is full
it's
price?
pretty good. I think it's 20.
7
I
quid
mean, it's
difference, mate.
Yeah, well, 7. To be honest, I wouldn't have bought it at 20 quid, and I don't feel
But
like
it sounds
it
like
would
you're
be-
really enjoying it.
I did enjoy it, but it's just
So it
kind of
doesn't
like
matter then, 7 quid.
I know, but it's not in.
Such a
It's
tight
not
half.
deep enough as a board game
Deep.
to justify 20 quid. You know, what I
You
mean?
just said word for word, this is the best fun I've ever had in my life.
Stewart.
It was good.
Stewart the
It's a good
stingy
part. I
lad.
do think.
He's not paid full price for anything he's ever had.
I do think it would benefit with more players. I think the more people playing it, the better it would be.
Stu needs friends.
Yeah, I need to try it out with
Go
8
ahead,
people. 'cause, like,
You
8
need to
people
have a
play.
gathering of the veteran gamers near y'all and then get together and play this with 8 or
Play
20.
Scream. Play the craziness
Yeah.
of Scream.
There you go.
And
then you can have
yeah,
Harry Potter join
Well,
in
wait,
and killing
what about
people.
next time you have like a board game night, I come up.
that would be
There you
brilliant.
go. Bring Rosa.
But
Here,
by the
Rosa, who do
way,
you want to murder?
By the way, Villainous took an hour and a half, so that's definitely more in depth. And that was only that was 23 for Star Wars Villainous, but that's
That's
half
so
You
price.
said it wasn't deep enough for a 20 quid thing.
No. Villainous was.
Oh.
The Scream game, not so much, but
Oh.
Villainous.
So the Villainous
is-
game is good enough to buy full price.
No, full price is 40 quid for that.
Fucking hell.
40 quid for full
Well
price.
then. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Just take photos of all the thing pieces and just
yeah,
send
really.
me
Just
them.
scan them in the computer.
But it
and
was,
share it on
like I say,
PDF.
it only cost 20, so 20 is not. I'm happy paying
hell.
20, but it's good. I would have paid 30. Shall we put it that way? I think it's worth 30.
Can I push it to 31?
No. All right, I'll tell you what.
Deal.
£30 and 25p.
Deal.
How about
To the
Deal.
man at the
Deal.
back.
Okay.
that? Deal. So there you go.
All right. Lovely.
Yeah.
Board
Interesting.
game
Thank you.
recommendations. There you go.
Right. Chinny, why don't you go next? You been playing all these things, or is this just random stuff on your?
I beg your pardon.
Is it random rambling?
Sometimes you don't update it week to week, so that
Yeah,
might
that
be
is
stuff
true.
you just left over from last week, or
Yeah,
maybe
beg
you're
your
still playing
pardon.
all these games this week.
No, because he's got a Metal Slug Tactics on there. so
Oh,
he-
no,
that's
I
definitely-
feel I'm quite insulted by what you just said there.
What's the matter, kid? You got wax in your ears?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Oprah says we train people how to talk to us, so you've made us believe that sometimes you don't have updated game lists.
I think
To be fair-
Prove me wrong.
I think what you're getting mixed up is that my list doesn't change very often because
there's
it looks the
that.
same every week.
And most times you've not.
As
played
long as it's
very
all
much,
up to
yeah,
date,
so-
that's fine.
My
Anyway,
list is up to date.
Chinny, what have you been playing?
Yeah, what do you mean playing, Chitty?
I've been playing
Yeah, go ahead.
Sifu again.
Ah, yeah.
So last week I hadn't finished the game.
Yeah, you
I
were
have,
struggling. You were struggling.
I have now finished it. I have now
Oh,
finished it.
snap. Look at this, Chinny.
But as
Look
we all
at
know,
you.
a roguelike isn't about finishing it once.
Of course
That's
it isn't.
right.
So for people that don't remember,
where's the
this game
sound
is a game where you age every time you are beaten in combat.
Yes.
And the maximum age is 75. You get to 75, the game's over. And I beat the
And
last
you can
boss.
retire into the mountains and just look at the sunset.
Can I ask you this though before you carry on? Did you restart
Chinny.
over completely, or did you just go back?
I restarted it completely.
Yeah.
But then I did, with this restart, because there's keys that you can get in the levels that help you when you do another run through, because you can skip massive amounts of the level. So I was doing the run through more like a kind of like I was
speed
just
run?
No, like the opposite. I was like checking every room, checking every door, and then all of a sudden I realized that this run through I was doing really well. So I wasn't really trying to do well in a way, but I was doing really well. And I beat the last boss. Remember, 75 is the maximum
75 is the maximum age. Does he look really old, by the way?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he gets very, very old looking. I was 74.
Ooh.
Right. And what's frustrating is from level 1 to 2, I did well, but 2 to 3, I was sort of messing about a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Just looking for keys and stuff.
Letting your guard down.
Then I carried on. I lost 10 years doing that. I reckon I can do better. And
yeah, so you got to have another go, obviously.
I'm going to have another go, and the last boss is tricky, but not impossible. And the last boss, you really do have to.
Well,
learn.
Obviously not, because you did it.
You have to learn. I didn't think I was going to do it though on the time that I did it. But the true ending is where you spare all the bosses, so you don't kill them, you spare them. So that's the true ending. So there's a few like goals and things that you can work towards. So yeah. Enjoying it. I have beat it. I might I'll have another run through with it soon. I don't know whether to like gradually keep playing this game or just keep playing it constantly until I get bored of it. But it's really good. I love it. Sifu. Yeah. So I've finished it, and I'll try and beat 74 next time. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the end is really. I think it's when you spare all the bosses.
So how do you spur them but still progress?
So there's when
you honk their nose like Miyagi does.
Yeah. How are you doing that?
When you beat someone, there's 2 bars. There's a health bar which is white, and then there's a sort of
racist.
There's like a resilience bar or something, basically like a block bar. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. It's like stamina bar, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's yellow. And when that gets full, they're basically alive but not responding. They're just sort of dazed, and you press Y and B or triangle
to do like
circle,
a finish,
and you finish them up. And I think if you leave it, they've got a bit more energy again. So you've got to basically beat them down without killing them. Yeah. So
you just got to keep beating them without doing the finishing move.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Stu, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's that. Yeah, I think you just sort of leave them alone when the finishing option comes up, you know. So I'll play it again, and I'll try it with the first boss, because the first
boss is fairly easy.
Yeah, it is
compared
now,
to the
but
others.
when you first play it, it is not. But
no,
yeah, it's amazing how I don't think I don't think the game sort of, you don't really upgrade your character very much. You get new moves, but to be honest, you can get through the game with just regular.
Do you know?
strikes,
I'll be honest. I cannot remember the last time you played it, apart from Balatro. I suppose it was probably the last time where you played a game where you were disinvested in it.
Yeah, no, I'm not like hugely massively invested, but I just like it. I remember when we played it for the Play My Game Bitch thing. I played it for 2 hours, and I literally said, I like this. Do you know what I mean? Like I came off going,
you knew.
I like this. And I think for me, it has to be that now. Like when I play a game, it has to do that to me. I don't really have much time for games where I'm like, I'm kind of enjoying this. I used to enjoy a lot of games and suffer. And I remember Tara saying to me,
just to finish it.
Why do you finish these games that you don't enjoy? And like that's it, probably ego, but it's also like a chance to no one can say that I can't critique the game.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that's where it started. It's like, well, people can't say I can't critique the game because I've played it all the way through. But I think not playing something all the way through is a critique in itself as I get older.
True.
And also, I just don't care as much. So there's that. But yeah, Sifu, I think it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm not a big roguelike fan. I don't like things like Void Bastards and stuff, but I love this. Yeah, love it.
I think as well, it's down to the attention to detail in the game and the moves and
you feel badass, yeah.
Realism. And it's a realism, isn't it? Because all these are proper fighting moves in this style of
And
martial
it's a
arts.
style of roguelike that finally ticked your boxes. Like
Yeah.
the question is not whether it's a roguelike or not. It's a question of how the roguelike is implemented.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
remember
Balatro is
being
the same,
into the
isn't it?
first Rogue game, like the Rogue itself. I was way into that back in the day, and then as time goes on, you're like, oh wait, I don't want to have to start all over with nothing.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I do like starting over with nothing.
Yeah, the starting all over isn't quite right because you, like I said earlier, you get keys which unlock doors, which allow
Right.
you to sort of skip certain things. Though this room that is in there on the screen, there is a way to skip this whole room, but I always get caught. So there's a few little things that I've not mastered where like if I get through it, I'll be able to, like skip through it and
Save some years.
Yeah, save some years. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Cool.
very good. Seafood.
All
Very
right,
good.
seafood.
So let
Play
me
it.
ask you this, Mr. Mike Chin.
Yes, yes.
So Hades, is that next on your hit list then?
It's on the list, yeah. I mean, I always try Hades is like up there,
Well, it's meant to be the
considered
best
the gold
rogue-
standard of
yeah,
roguelike,
gold
yeah,
standard.
yeah,
exactly.
and I'm always willing to play the best of a genre that I don't particularly like. You know what I mean? If there's probably a JRPG out there that like, okay, this is the best JRPG, I'll try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll try it, but no JRPG has converted me yet. But
I think we tried it this week with Metal Tactics Gears Tactics.
that's not a
Yeah.
JRPG. That's not a JRPG.
No,
Sure
it's,
it
it's
is.
a, no,
No,
it's not.
Just kidding.
Uh,
Just kidding.
so yeah, it's I'm always willing to try the best of.
Do you know
whatever that is.
Sea of did we do Sea of Stars as a
Yeah, we did.
play my game bitch? See, because it isn't a JRPG, but it is kind of a JRPG, if you know what I mean. But that's really good. It's a really good game.
No, not for me.
Not for you though.
No. So Sifu is though. Love it.
Sifu is.
There you go. Eat some seafood, people.
Eat some seafood.
Yeah. All right, so I'm next then, huh?
Yeah.
You want me to go next, huh?
Yeah,
A
we
little
do.
juvenile reference for the juvenile fans. Yeah, so it's the Steam Autumn Sale, everybody. Oh,
It is.
snap. Yeah, lots of stuff on sale. Stingy bastards, go line up. And I've been looking at the DLC for New World for a while, and I'm like, hey, I don't know, maybe next time it goes on sale. So I got it. I hate giving Amazon my money, but the reason I did it is because the level cap didn't go up when the DLC came out for people who didn't buy the DLC, which it does in Guild Wars 2.
That's how they get you.
No. But in Guild Wars 2, doesn't have to do that, and I still gave them my money. So fuck you, Amazon. You're not getting my money, although they did get my money, but they didn't
got
get
your
all of
money.
it. They got some of the money, yes. But I also did the math. I've played this game for like 270 hours, I think. Let's look. 280 hours now. At the time I bought it, it was 270 hours. So if you do the math of like the base game plus the DLC on sale, that's a pretty good value for money that I've gotten out of New World because I've played it a lot. So, yeah, the DLC adds new storylines and new areas, and I've not even started those yet because I did something else new this week, which I've never done in 270 hours of playing this game. I beat the final boss. And it's a proper difficult fight. Like, you got to be very careful. You got to have all your perks up and good armor and good gear and stuff. And there was this part of the battle where I was like getting stomped. She was killing me, one hit. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I had a fight before with a guy named Jonas, which is really frustrating. He kills you all the time. And so then people were like, oh, you got to do this at that moment. And I was like, oh man, it should be clear in the game how you deal with that. This was even worse. This lady that you're fighting is like flying around and teleporting all over this little area you're fighting in. And then like blood just seeps up and that makes you vulnerable. She hits you one shot, you're dead. And I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody online, I go looking for information. Somebody on Reddit had posted, after 2/3 of the fight, the brambles that block off one of the stairways there, they go away and you can climb the stairs to get away from that blood, which is what makes it. And then it's easy to kill her after that. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to realize that the brambles went away so I could climb those stairs? That's fucked up, man. It should be more obvious, but whatever. I did it. It felt really good. It's very satisfying. It's one of those, MMO fights. New World does a good job. It's instances, right? Which, that's the way you do it in MMOs, to have an enemy. And you know, my complaint about MMOs is that you kill a monster and then 5 minutes later it's like, that monster is killing people, and you're like, I just killed him. What the fuck? So because this has got like a story to it, once you kill this lady, it's like, okay, she's dead and you've brought some peace to the world. But then they go, you know, like, the real fight's just beginning. And like, motherfucker, don't give me that shit. I know you need to set the stage for the DLC, but God damn it, let me have. I like the games where at the end of the, you know, main quest line, it's like there was peace in the community and the villagers were happy, and you know, everyone celebrated for you. You know, at the end of Empire Strikes or Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks are partying. It's like you had a victory. So whatever. Anyway, yeah, New Worlds. I think this is the best MMO, and I know a lot of people don't like it because it doesn't have enough end game content and yada yada yada. But I don't care about none of that shit. It really scratched my itch for, you know, it's a good role playing game. Like, I think it's a good role playing game, and I continue to. It's funny because okay, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but I just have a lot to say.
That's all right. That's all right.
So when you're playing this game, you're supposed to be doing the ancillary skills as you do the story quest. So in other words, you fight, you know, wolves or pigs early in the game, and you skin them, and then you refine the skin, and then you make leather out of it, and you chop down trees, and then you refine the trees, the wood, and you make timber out of it and all that stuff, right? So there's 2 steps in the process: killing the animals and then skinning the, there's 3 steps: killing the animals, skinning the animals, and then refining the leather. With the trees, you chop down the trees and then you refine the wood. I've been doing all the main parts of that. I've been mining, I've been skinning animals, I've been collecting, you know, the wood from the trees, but I wasn't doing that other step in it because I was like, I don't really care about leveling up my leather crafting skills. I'll just buy whatever I want, you know, because I tend to make a lot of money. So I'll just buy the stuff I need. I don't care about making stuff. But cut to 100 hours later with this character, and I'm like, man, why is my leather crafting skill not raised up? And because I wasn't doing it along the way. So I have all this fancy, it's like iron hide. It's like tier 4 leather. And I can't do anything with it because my leather crafting skill isn't good enough. So I have to go back and grind the leather crafting skills from earlier in the game. And it's fine because it's very relaxing. It's very nice. And the aesthetics of the game are so good because, you know, you go chopping down trees and it's very relaxing. And, you know, it really is the thing from Zen of carry water and chop wood. So. Yeah, that's a lot of. It is a proper boss. Yeah, I took her down. It was quite a challenge, but it wasn't too bad. It really took me like 6 or 7 times. So I was proper frustrated, but once I figured out how to do it, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, once you got the pattern down, that's what you got to do.
Exactly. Well, and she mixes up her patterns too, which is interesting because I got a pattern down and then she switched up. She pulled out a gun and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought we were fighting with swords. She's like, aha. I was like, damn, okay, lady. But the other thing that happens when you get the DLC is you have a horse! Oh, God. Which is actually a big deal because it's so much faster to travel. Like, up until now, the past 270 hours, it's been running everywhere. And riding on a horse isn't really faster, but it adds up, you know what I mean? So when you're running and you're on the roadways, you go 2% faster, right? I'd say with the horse, you're maybe going 4% faster than regular running. So, and there's a boost for the horse that you can build up by improving your riding ability. And then you get like, you know, horseshoes that you can use to like give you a boost for your horse or whatever. So it's just, it's a good mechanic, and you know, it has made, it's the quality of life improvement. And I got a wolf as a mount too now, so I can ride a wolf around, which is pretty cool. Although there's no mounted combat, I don't think, which is a little stupid because it would be cool to use my wolf to attack monsters, but you have to jump off the wolf and then fight the monsters if you do it that way.
That might come. Sure it will.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But in the meantime, I'm just loving it. And if anybody out there plays New World, holler at your boy. Maybe we'll do some expeditions or something. So, yeah, I'm loving it. Big thumbs up for the DLC.
I'll be honest, you don't really talk a lot about the MMO nature of the game.
No. I play it like an RPG. Like
that's what I mean. Yeah. You've never ever really mentioned other players or anyone else being there or.
Nope. Well, I'll tell you the one thing. I'll tell you. Let me talk about it now. Yeah. Well, when I was so when you go, hang on.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so you fight your way to a certain camp that is like the staging ground for your final assault on Shattered Mountain, which is the thing on the promo information. And between the camp and the final boss, there's like a whole bunch of enemies that you got to fight. And I happened to arrive to start on that part of the process at the same time as this other dude. We weren't like officially teamed up or anything, but we had this thing. It's probably like when you play Journey, like, you know, you have this camaraderie and like, you know, he starts fighting somebody, then I jump in and then he sets up this healing tent or whatever it is. And I'm getting healed from him. And yeah, it was just really cool. And we do it like, you know, some of the emotes, you know, that you do, and you can like dance and stuff and whatnot. So it was a kind of impromptu joining of forces. And then of course, when you fight the actual boss fight, you have to go in alone. So we couldn't team up to fight her together, which is kind of annoying, but whatever.
I've got a question for you, Eric.
Go ahead, shoot. Let me hear you shoot.
So you play MMOs like RPGs.
Yes.
Why not just play RPGs?
That's a good question. The biggest answer is because I like the fact that these are so open and most RPGs are more linear. Baldur's Gate 3 is really the only one that I haven't played that I really want to. And I'm just a cheapskate for that.
Give me an example of like a RPG that's quite linear.
Like Dragon's Dogma and
would you count Mass Effect in that? Like, that's quite linear, isn't it, I suppose?
It's not too linear. I would say they're open. And I should play Veilguard because, you know, I didn't hate Inquisition, but I don't know.
People saying Veilguard's good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear it. I mean, people said Inquisition was good too. And I didn't hate Inquisition. I don't know. Things about it just kind of bugged me.
Week was good. What's the matter with you?
The other thing is that this is true about Baldur's Gate 2. They're so often party games. You have a group of people. And one of the nice things about New World and most other MMOs is that you're one individual. And, you know, that's what I love about Skyrim and just you against the world, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, I actually did play another RPG this week, which I'll talk about later. So, you know, hey, I am trying to give other RPGs a try. But, you know, when I go looking on Steam for RPGs, like most of them are games I've either already played or they're weirdly categorized. Like, that's not an RPG, y'all. Like, what are you doing? Like, Pal World is listed as an RPG, which it's not really an RPG, right?
It's like Assassin's Creed is like listed as
exactly. Exactly. And I played Assassin's Creed Origins for a while, and that was scratching my RPG.
I mean, it is an RPG.
It is an RPG,
sense,
right?
But yeah,
in a sense,
it's not what it's not the itch you're trying to scratch. Okay.
And that's the thing is, so often I'm like, I want a medieval setting. I want swords and shields, and you know there can be magic, okay. But you know you have a lot of options in an MMO, and in a lot of RPGs you don't have quite so many options. And the other thing is, I want to be able to customize my character. So I was thinking about going back and playing The Witcher 3 again, and I'm like, I have to play as Geralt, man. I want to play as someone else, which is stupid, but it's in my brain. So
surely isn't that a mod for that by now?
Yeah, maybe.
There's probably a mod where you don't have to play as Geralt. I don't know. There probably is.
Good question. I should look into that. Good thought, Stu.
I was thinking there's mods for everything else.
I'll take a look.
They don't seem too fussy, you know, if you want to play as a different guy. I'm assuming the story is still go the same way.
Naked Geralt mod. I'm not interested.
Yeah, there's definitely
a ton of those.
What
if he had two wieners?
Yeah, what if it's unlike you? It's not bothered if you have a wiener or not. I don't know.
You can check my search history. I haven't searched for that.
What, Geralt's two wieners?
No, I haven't searched for that.
Duchess got all her hay piled up. Look at all that hay.
Hey. Super Armor in the chat says, I have so many, in caps, PC games to play.
Yeah.
And I've heard good things about the new indie game. I'm curious. I don't know if I'll get it day one. I don't buy anything day one these days.
What's the new indie game?
Cheap on Steam sales.
What's the new indie game?
The new Indiana Jones.
Oh, I was gonna like indie game.
I do.
Right? Which indie game? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's thingy. It's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Game Pass, isn't it? Yeah,
Game Pass.
Oh, is it? Not now, but it will be.
Yeah, it will be when it's
day one.
Really?
Well, it's not on now. It's not released yet. But when it does release,
it will be on when it releases.
It's day one release.
Well, yes, I will play it, Amar.
Yeah.
I will have it because I have Game Pass.
Because you have Game Pass.
Good in it.
Yeah.
Good in it.
It's good this Game Pass.
So
It's me because
you.
I was reading the story. There was some guy, and he's like, "Oh, you know, in the autumn sale, Fear was £1.79 or something, right?"
Oh, talk about the OG gold standard.
Right. So I was like, I've already got that, but I've not played that for ages. I wonder if it
Uh-oh.
runs on the Steam Deck.
Of course, it
Wonder
runs
if
on
that
the
run-
Steam Deck.
Well, so I
Should you go in
downloaded
a closet to play it when you're going to be out in the hammock?
16. By the way, 16 gigabytes. It's still pretty
Damn, really?
hefty for a game that. Oh
That is
yeah,
hefty.
16 gigs, right? I was like,
The hell?
wow.
I was
That's
joking.
got all the
that's-
expansions then.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, it
joking,
includes the
that's
two
tiny,
expansions.
Stu. 16
No, it
gigs, that's
is.
nothing.
But for a game from 2005, that is pretty
Yeah, I would have thought it would
hefty.
be 5 gigs.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty hefty. So I was like, wow, that's quite a lot. So it's kind of a bit of a does it hold up? Because this game, can we just say,
This isn't an official does it hold up. We didn't
No,
agree
no.
to this.
19 years old, this game is
Yeah.
now. And I was like, wow, fuck me, that is an
Well, this
old
is
game.
it's like a 360 launch, sort of that area, isn't it? I remember.
It did come out on 360, but it was a terrible port that had save
Yeah,
automatic
with
saving
this-
and
yeah.
no save where you want, which was just hideous.
We
and I
discussed
never
this
finished it.
16
We've been through
years
it.
ago.
We've been through this several times.
Yeah.
Then I bought it on PC, and it would
Mm-hmm.
only let me use a keyboard and mouse. And I'm like, I can play keyboard and mouse, but it's not my shtick, really.
It's not your thing.
It's not my shtick. So I was like, right, let's
You
have a
get
go
all
on this.
confused with the
I
keyboard.
do,
and the
I
mouse.
do, and I'm
Start
like
doing Excel
pressing-
spreadsheets.
I don't mind it. I can do it,
Mm.
but it's not my number one choice for controlling in a game.
No.
So I was like, right, let's download this thing. I'll just play it for a bit.
Uh-oh.
I'll just play this game for a little bit,
Just a little,
Um,
just a little tipple.
just a tittle, you know. And there's a community control scheme that someone's like mapped all the controls to the
Oh,
controller.
that's nice, isn't
that
it?
works perfectly, and everything's. They've even set up how fast you turn. One weird thing though, there was a little weird thing. Whereas you were meant to pull the right trigger to go into slow motion. Well, you don't get slow mo straight away in the game. It's like a little way in when you get the slow mo stuff. Pulling the trigger, nothing's happening. I've got the meter, nothing happening. Oh, that's a bit weird. Why is that? So it had mapped in some weird like half trigger, so you had to
Oh, yeah.
half pull the trigger to get it to work, right? So I'm like, that's stupid anyway. So I went into the control, like into the edit the settings, and I changed it to a full pull of the right trigger.
Mhm.
Because that's dead easy to do. Just go in edit settings and change it. So I did that. Still nothing. So I was like, right, that's a bit weird. Why is it still not working? I don't understand why it's not working. So I then went into the game's configuration settings. It wasn't mapped at all to anything. It's like unassigned. Like, what the fuck? Because in obviously the proper game, it should be assigned to control key on your keyboard. Wasn't assigned. That's weird. Assigned it, and then it worked
You're
perfectly.
actually-
Yeah. that
Oh,
was just-
sweet. There you go.
That was the
So I found-
story that something wasn't assigned to something.
Yeah, it
and then
was.
you assigned it, Stu.
I've got to
Jeez.
say, I'm looking at this
Don't worry
gameplay.
about getting to your point. I'm going to live forever.
Yeah.
It almost looks a bit cell shaded, which it doesn't when I'm playing it. I don't know. It's a bit weird.
I don't know. So
That's a
what
bit of
did you
a-
think of the bloody game?
It's fucking brilliant.
Does it hold
Do
up?
does it hold up? Do you know what? This game is better than most first-person shooters that come out came out this year. It's so fucking good. Do you know what? I had one of the best moments ever today. Right? I
Ever?
walked.
Like
yeah.
wedding day, birth
No,
of
just
Millie?
like in a video game.
Oh, in a
setting.
video game, right? Sorry.
I walked into a room and there was a guy crouched,
Mhm.
turned to see me and went, shit. And then I shot him in the face. And I'm like, the AI is just so brilliant because he obviously automatically, his reaction to seeing me was just like, shit.
I don't like the lean. It's too leany.
Oh, I don't lean. I've not done leaning at
There's a
all,
lot of
really.
leaning going on in this.
You don't
YouTube
have to
video.
lean. You just slow-mo shoot him in the face. And it's so satisfying. Like everything about this game is so satisfying. And I know it's quite limited. When you in some ways, I think it makes it better, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of games these days, right? You have slow-mo, you have fucking about 5 different powers you can do, don't you? It's not just slow-mo, it's like camouflage and all this other shit, going invisible. So there's all this other shit going down. This, it's just slow-mo. That's it, slow-mo. And shoot the shit. And
Yeah,
it looks
because every
amazing.
game thinks it has to have something different, but these guys
Exactly.
are doing it well. And Valve showed us that when you do something well, you don't need a lot of different things.
Exactly. And then back in the day, when this game first came out, if you wanted to run this game on maximum settings,
Hmm.
it was like you used to have state-of-the-art PC. Fuck knows how much that would have cost back in the day. You're probably talking $2,000 PC to run this on maximum settings, aren't you, back then?
Hmm.
This,
I mean, that's true about most games' maximum settings now as well.
yeah.
Not more.
This runs maximum settings on Steam Deck, not occur in the world, and it looks incredible. I'm just like, oh my god, this is just ridiculous how good this game looks.
Steady on.
No, for a game, but can we just mention 19?
I know, yeah, but you're saying it looks incredible.
No, the lighting.
You've got to put in for something that's 19 years old.
No, not at all.
Yes,
You're not putting this up against a game that came out this year.
I'm disagreeing about not so much that, but the particle effects in slow motion, and even when a grenade goes off in slow-mo and there's a shockwave and it just looks so bloody good.
Yes, but it's still for a game that's 19 years old.
It is, but
Okay.
I think if this game came out in 2015 and looked this good with those particle effects and lighting and shadows, I would think it would come out in 2015.
You're insane.
I wouldn't be questioning. I'm telling you now.
You're
when I'm
insane.
playing it, I'm not insane.
It looks like it was made in Lego.
It does not look like it's made in Lego. It doesn't.
Bad Lego.
Honestly, it does not. It's so much better than that. And the
But no,
AI,
I'll give you like the particles and the lighting is all good, but the graphics themselves.
the AI is so much better than a lot of AI in games.
AI interested in
AI.
AI.
Because they run off, they regroup, they hide behind stuff, they do stuff.
They play board games with each other.
Yeah, they do. That modern AI just doesn't do.
No.
It's honestly.
I'm not disputing that. Like the effects look cool, the slow-mo looks cool, but
it's even the way they peep round corners.
The graphics look. It looks pretty basic.
It does look dated. I mean, the sort of incidental stuff looks a bit dated, but the stuff that matters just looks so good. I feel like they've turned the brightness up or something weird on this, and it looks weirdly cell shaded, which it doesn't. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know where you're getting cell shaded from. I don't think it looks cell shaded, but
it does look a bit like it's like it's the colors. The colors look a bit odd.
Yeah.
In mind, it's really dark. When you're walking down this corridor, you can barely see.
Maybe
they just might have the brightness.
Yeah, I feel like it had jacked up the colors.
That's terrifying. This game's plenty scary already. You don't need darkness.
You know that test that you do at the start of games, and he's like, "What? You can just barely see the logo. You've cranked it right up." And
I feel like that's what he's done because it just looks weird. It just doesn't look right. But anyway, aside,
you like it.
I like it. Not only do I like it, this, if you've got a Steam Deck, is worth £1.79 of anybody's money because it's fucking fun. It's a load of fun. Most games
aren't supposed to be fun.
No, games these days, they take themselves too seriously. Whereas this game, it's like, fuck serious, let's just shoot people in the face
Games are supposed
in
to
slow
be
motion.
Horrible, grim, terrible places.
It's supposed to show you what you can overcome. Anything.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This game is grim. I mean, you throw a grenade. If you get it close enough to two people, there's nothing left. There's just like body parts everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't hold back. It doesn't hold back on the gore and gruesomeness. This embraces it. Absolutely embrace it. But I love it. I'm going to actually make a concerted effort to finish it because it only takes about 5 hours, apparently. It's not a long game.
Do it.
Okay.
Because I've never finished it. I didn't finish it when I played it on Xbox. I've never finished it when I played it on PC.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's time that I put this game to bed and finished it.
Nip it in the
And let's be honest, Duke, Fear 2 is one of your favorite games ever.
It is. It's a great game because it's got the mech in it, and it's got, I don't know. I just think everything they did well in Fear, they did even better in Fear 2.
Yeah.
So.
And Fear 2, by the way,
Chinny,
is
you fucked up,
£1.70
Chinny.
as well.
Fear. Oh, I've had Fear. There's dots in between these letters, man. It's an acronym. Come on.
I did is copy and paste.
It stands for Fascinating, Everywhere, Awesome, Rebellion, or something.
I copy and paste the title from the YouTube.
Well, it's time for you to do some editorializing and some addition of punctuation when necessary.
I'll do
I'm not
that.
paying you to gold brick. No, don't do it. I don't care.
No, I'm just gonna.
being
The
a
rest of the
pedantic
show,
jerk.
the camera angle is gonna be on your face.
Jenny, did you know that in the Scream movies, there's one guy who does the voice of the
Yeah,
caller?
did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Did you know that?
See, that's because you're stupid.
The feed is now just your face for the rest of the show.
Yes.
It's what he always wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, who's next? Chinny, you back up?
Sure.
Sure.
Well, I've been trying, Stu.
Oh, we're talking to. By the way, can I just make some corrections? I need to make some corrections.
No one
Because
died.
last week I said you couldn't fast travel. You can fast
Oh,
travel.
you can fast travel. Oh,
You can fast travel, but it's not easy. You've got to chat with a guide NPC in a settlement. But unless you've chatted to another guide NPC in another settlement, you can only do it once you've done that.
Right.
And you can fast travel between the settlements, but nowhere else
So
in
you
the
gotta sort of
game.
link them together.
Correct. And you can fast forward time, and again, that can only be done in settlements. So the only time you can fast forward time is in settlements when you go to sleep.
The day-night cycle's quick.
Yeah, it's not too bad to be fair, anyway. But I'll tell you the other thing: it's fucking dark. When it's nighttime, and yet that light you've got goes about a foot.
Yeah.
It's pitch black.
good for your hands
It's
and
so
nothing else.
spooky. It's so spooky.
So I've been trying, Stu. Because
yeah,
last
I have.
week,
I mean, I've given it a good go this
last week I
I
said
also have. Well, no, I haven't.
I put it
I haven't
on
played
easy
so much.
mode.
Yeah.
Right. And I gave it another go.
By the way, there was a massive update yesterday, so they have done
Good for them.
two
Happy-
updates
Happy
they've
for
done
them. Great.
in the last 2 days.
Good for them. Brilliant. Let's talk about the game. The game.
Okay, as it was.
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah.
really trying.
Have you done that? Have you
He
done
is
the?
not liking it any better than he liked it last.
Have you done the mission where you go and find the dudes who've gone missing, and he goes, "Oh, they were going exploring this tunnel and they never came back." One.
I went into a cave recently. Basically, I'm at a lighthouse, this wooden lighthouse, and there's all booby traps in the lighthouse.
You see, I haven't got there. Did you? Are you doing the missions? Did you go to the settlements and get the mission, like the main story missions, or are
Yeah.
you doing side? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
this is a main
So
story
you're
mission.
you're way further than me then. I
Oh.
feel. Because I went to see him and he's going, "Oh, go and speak to whatever his name is in the next door building."
The captain.
Who can no the guy who can. It depends which faction
Richer.
you go
There's
with.
Richer and there's Captain.
Have you gone with?
I haven't gone with anyone.
The ward? Are you doing a ward mission?
I don't know.
The occupying dude. So the dude who. So when you go to the bar, right?
Junior, you're
there's
not
a-
paying attention to the lore at all. Come on.
No.
when you go to the bar,
Yeah.
this ward captain dude comes in who's like, if in effect,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like a Russian dude.
Twat.
Yeah, twat. So you can either go and see him or you go and see Richard, don't you? You go and
I see
the other
both
guy.
of them. I want to see both of them.
Yeah. So I think you might be doing a ward mission if you're doing missions for both
No,
of
but
them.
I went to this wooden lighthouse thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got a thing,
Yeah.
and now the game's saying you either give it to Richer or give it to the
Yeah. So you got to
captain.
pick a side. You got to pick a side, man.
I can't remember what Richer looks like, so Captain left more of an impression on me, so I might go with him.
So he's the in effect the Russian invaders, as in the game world.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it's bad, I guess, because
Is it?
it's Ukraine and they're invading.
Russia tends to be bad,
Russia's tends to
Right.
be bad.
Okay, so
except in World War II when they really kind of won the war.
This is Fallout. This game's Fallout.
It can't. Well,
No,
Except it's not as
no,
much fun as
no, no,
Fallout.
no,
It came before Fallout. To be fair,
Yeah,
well,
come on,
Fallout
shit.
1? I don't think so. Right.
well, not Fallout 1, but Stalker, the original Stalker, came
I'm
before,
sorry,
and
Stu,
it's
but
similar.
when I
It's
went
very
into that
similar.
wooden windmill thing, and there's booby traps, and I recognise them because they look exactly the same as the Fallout booby traps.
Yeah, but they had those booby traps in the original.
This
Stalker.
game is Fallout, man.
Yeah, but Fallout was Stalker.
Yeah, and Fortnite was PUBG. Suck my balls, man.
Exactly.
So this is so you do the intro, and then
Yeah.
it goes boom, Stalker 2, and then it turns into Fallout. But the difference there is a difference. The difference is it's so fucking grim, and I know
Oh, yeah.
Fallout is grim, but at least like the music in Fallout is kind of like inspiring and
There's
like,
a lot of
uplifting.
tongue-in-cheek humor in
Yeah,
Fallout.
and like the people have hope. You talk to the people in Stalker 2, and they're all like, everything's shit, you're shit, and I'm shit, fuck off. And then you go to the windmill guy.
That's the way the world is, Chinny.
And I'm helping this guy, and he's like, well, you going to help me or not? And one of the options is just shoot him in the fucking head, right?
Yeah, you can do that in this game.
And so I was like, right, I'll help him because I'm not sure.
That's
what
not
shoot-
like you. I would have
I'm
thought
not-
you'd have
I'm
gone for
just
the
on-
shoot him in the
like,
head.
I'm nice compared to everybody in this game, right? In comparison.
Oh yeah.
Can I blow up a whole town with a nuclear bomb?
So I go
no?
in this.
Wow.
I go in this cave, right, and I find this thing, and I give it back to the guy. He's like, well, no, I clear out this bunker or something, and this guy, I save this guy, and he's like, "What do you want? A reward?"
Brilliant.
All right, and he's like, there's a bunch of dead bodies there. Just loot them. That's your reward.
Is that what you definitely did? I love that.
That's what he said.
It's brilliant.
And he's like, I might have something in that briefcase over there, but I don't care. And then it was like, okay, thanks.
How about
Cheers.
for a reward, you suck my ass?
All right, and I was like, this game's just fucking depressing, man. I'm just sad all the time. The music's sad and creepy and depressing. The fucking vibe is sad.
It's not meant to be a
sad.
nice place to be. It's bloody had a
So why
massive
the fuck are we
nuclear
playing it then?
accident. Well, I don't know. That's what I like about
It's
it.
a
I like
gripping gameplay.
I like the grim atmosphere.
Oh,
And
God.
He's the same man who loves Elden Ring, and he played a bunch of
Yeah.
the Demon Souls before it was cool.
Yeah, you see, I played a mission right where he says the Richie guy, I
Yeah.
think he's called Richter or whatever he's
I
called.
can't remember.
Says go and see the guy who fixes your weapons.
Oh yeah,
and
I did that.
He'll sort you out with your mission. So you go and see him, and he goes, "Yeah, there's some dudes who I sent out, and they've not come back. Can you go and look for them?" And he gives you
Oh,
six.
right.
ping on
I
your
haven't
map
done
for
that
it.
yet. Then, so
There's
we're
6 ping.
probably in the same way, like hours wise. We're probably at the same.
Yeah.
point.
So off I went on my merry way
On your-
to
off your
find
pop.
these dudes.
Off your fuck.
And halfway there's like, because this is a problem with Stalker.
Yeah.
Every time you come across a building, you've got to investigate to see if there's anything worth
I
looting.
don't.
Oh, I do. I go in
No,
every building.
I just fucking beeline it because I'm scared.
Yeah, I go in every building. So I goes in this building. There's this dude cowering in the corner of the building, right?
Kill
I'm like,
him.
what's up with-
Instantly kill him.
What's up with him?
That's the rules of this world. Just kill him.
So I slowly go up to him and he's like, "Oh, there's a thing," and I go, "Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, can you help or whatever?"
No.
So I was like, "Okay." And it's another one of those fucking invisible things from the beginning of the game, right?
I
I'm
fought
like,
another one of those. Yeah.
Oh God, they're so difficult.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I'll use.
Well, that's
melee-
not what you were saying last week. Last week it was.
Wow.
Backed into a corner and he
Yes,
killed
yeah,
himself.
well, I kind of did.
I just started
Welcome
talking
to our
about
psychological
I just
state of mind.
started talking about my board games and he just killed himself.
This time I did struggle slightly. I used a lot of ammo killing him, and he was. I feel like he was harder anyway.
He wasn't. You got lucky.
But by the way, they have reduced the hardness of all the enemies in the thing, so it
Oh,
should be
no.
a bit easier now. But yeah, so I eventually killed him, and then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I'll give you this as a reward." And he gave me some. He did give me some. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was anything too exciting.
He gave you. He shat in his hand and he gave you
Yeah.
that.
And then he went, "Oh, at least you
Don't
saved
say
me
I never gave a
because
shit.
I'm just gonna go back to town and regroup because like this stalker thing's not for me. I don't think." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, probably not for most people."
I'm just going to become an accountant.
So anyway, I wasn't very far from the object. So I got there, and it's this like entranceway to like a bunker underground. So it's like a load of underground tunnels, and you drop off a ledge. So you
Okay.
drop off a ledge, and
Never
so
good. In
once
a video game, that means you're fucked.
means you can't get back out that way.
Can't
You're
get
not
back
going out
out.
that way.
That's right. You fight your
So-
way through.
So I was like, there's these fucking mutated rat things attacking me.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I killed
yeah.
all of them.
I climbed to the top of a tower and one of them was at the top. And I was like,
Yeah,
"Where the fuck did
yeah,
that-"
I got there. Yeah, because he tells you to go look up there as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
doesn't it? So anyway, I killed these rat things, and I'm going through, and then there's all these lightning anomalies going off everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to throw a bolt and then sprint through it before it goes off again.
Which I hate that, by the way.
Oh, I hate that. So anyway, I did all that.
Stupid.
Finally get to the end of the tunnels, and there's a dude there, and obviously he's getting attacked by rabid dogs or something. So I killed all them. So I speaks to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the leader of the thing got taken by some religious nut, but he's going to kill him. So you need to go and save him. I'll give you the coordinates. This is where he lives."
You fucking do it. That's what you should say.
So I was like, "Yeah, well, he's just sat." Well, I spoke to him because I thought he was going to come. And then when I looked around, he sat down, right? So I goes back up to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in no fit state. Let me know when you've saved him. Go quick, go." So off I go, right? So I get to the top of this set of stairs, and there's a switch for the door. So I turn the switch, and nothing happens. So the door's still locked, right? So I'm like, "Well, why the hell's the
Oh
door?"
shit.
I'm like, "That's the end of the mission." And so I'm like, so I backtracked all the way back to the beginning of the level. Obviously, you can't jump back out the way you came in. So I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I goes in this other.
Fuck.
So there's a room, and on the left, just as you walk in.
Yeah.
Now I have no idea where I picked up a fuse from, but for some reason I had a fuse because it says replace fuse. So I was like, huh. So I replaced the fuse. Then a storeroom opens to the left. But if I had to back, I could have been wandering around there for ages trying to figure out why it hadn't worked. goes in the storeroom, loads of supplies, which was great. So I picked
Mhm.
all that shit up.
Yeah.
Made my way all the way back through it all again in the lightning anomalies and all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door's open. So you have to turn the electric on to get the door open. I'm just like,
Great.
it wasn't very clear. I mean, it was
No.
by sheer chance that I went back and went in and
That's
like,
the
I can-
brutal nature of this video game.
Oh, I guess it
Stu.
is. Guess it is. So
Not gonna
anyway,
hold your hand, you big
so I
pussy.
go out. So I go out, right? Off I go into the wilderness.
It's gonna cut
Follow,
your dick off.
follow the location to this guy.
Who killed
Gets-
himself?
No, gets there, right? You have to sneak in through there's a tunnel from the shed.
Yeah.
So I breaks into the
Tunnel
shed,
of
gets some
death.
more supplies, which is pretty good. Sneaks slowly into thinking I'm going to get attacked instantly, right? Guy who I'm meant to be saving is on a bed, so I talk to him and he's like, in the attic, or words to that nature, right? In Russian.
Is that? Did
So-
you say? Is that a Smith song in the attic? Is that you singing?
Don't know.
In
So-
the attic.
So I go in the attic and there's a guy there, and I'm like, oh, and he's like, kill him because he's obviously the guy who's kidnapped him. So I'm like talking. So I talk to him, and he's like, oh, don't, you've got it all
Alright,
wrong.
mate.
You got it all wrong. I'm not trying to kill him. I actually saved him and I've healed him,
Oh.
and he's gonna live now. So you need to help me. Don't help
Is it Billy
them.
bullshit? Is it?
So I'm like, I don't know what to think about this. So I
Kill 'em
said
both.
to him,
Kill them both.
well, so I said to him, "Well," and he's like, come on, come
How
downstairs.
did you
and
choose
help
that
me."
option?
Yeah, that was exactly what he said. So we go down the stairs,
Yeah.
and then the next thing, like these other dudes too. So he's getting all tooled up with all his guns and stuff.
Massive
So I'm like-
spoilers for Stalker 2, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm like, right, I think I'll help him. So he's like, they're coming through the tunnel. So I go to the tunnel, nothing happens. So I open the door, right, and he's like, oh, maybe you could talk. He says, maybe you could talk him out of doing it. So I'm like, right, no worries. So I open the door. There's all these like dudes stood there, and he's like, oh, you need to let us in to kill him, or whatever. And we've spoken to whatever the dude was who I spoke to, and he sent us as well. So I was like, I'm like, he's not bad. He's saved him. It's all fine, right? And then they go, oh, fuck it, and start shooting at me, right? So I'm like, oh, massive gunfight ensues. So a huge gunfight. Eventually killed them all, right? Dude who I was trying to protect gets killed, and the dude who I was trying to find is dead on the bed, right?
Yeah.
So like everybody's dead, not just the baddies, the goodies, like the whole
You don't
caboodle
even
are
know
dead.
who the goodies and the baddies were in that
Yeah.
situation anymore.
It's
So-
like No Country for Old Men. Like something
everyone's
bad
dead.
happened to you.
So I thought, right, I need to go back to the dude. So there's a mark
Yeah.
appears like, to go back. So I thought, oh, this must be taking me back to the dude who's, waiting in the tunnel to go and tell him that his mate's dead or whatever. I'm like, how am I going to explain it that he's dead and also that, but then the other guy died, so maybe that's fine. But he doesn't. He takes you all the way back to the town to Richter or whatever it is, and the dude who fixes your weapons speaks to him, and he's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, I found him. He was dead, and so was I. But don't worry, I killed the guy. So you just take credit for the fact you killed him when you didn't. Oh yeah, I killed the guy, and he's like, yeah, fine. That's it. Here's your reward, and gives me a load of money.
I don't know what I'm
Beauty
supposed to
of this
learn
game.
from that. To be honest,
Beauty of this game. That's what that is.
what?
You know.
That experience, Chinny. You
That
can't have
whole
that in
I don't know what you just explained.
So
It's
basically,
the emergent properties. He's loving the fact that these groups of people are just interacting with each other,
Yeah.
and it's not pre-programmed. It's
Yeah,
like
and
they've
he
set up
didn't-
a world and they let it interact, and that's
yeah,
the
exactly.
story.
So they killed him when I was supposed to kill him, but I took the credit for it anyway. But they just did whatever they wanted. I obviously couldn't talk them out of it, but maybe you could. I don't know. But I don't know. I just kind of liked how it all played out. You know what I mean? That I was trying to help him, but then I couldn't help him because it was killed him anyway, or got him killed, and the other guy died anyway, and no one
You
gives
know,
a
a
shit.
lot. A lot of what people like about games like this is that the world feels alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You play Skyrim, even The Witcher 3, and every MMO. Like you go to Whiterun in Skyrim, you know what you're gonna see. There's gonna be people saying the same lines over and over again. You're gonna find bandits out in the wilderness. You're gonna kill them, and it's a very simple loop. The worlds aren't really alive, and I've heard about the first Stalker game, and then apparently it's true about this one too, that it's more and more unexpected what you're going to see.
Yeah, it's like emergent gameplay.
Right, which is cool, but there's so many things that I didn't enjoy when I was playing this.
No,
the first
which
time
is
that I just
fair,
didn't
which
go
is
back to it this
fair
week.
enough. which is fair.
So
I mean,
I
don't get me
like
wrong.
that part of it, and I
Yeah.
think that when we get it in, if ever we get another Elder Scrolls game, like hopefully there will be some of that in there, so that it's even more alive than what we've gotten in Skyrim.
I
'Cause
like
that's what
it.
big studios can do that indie games can't do. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead,
exactly.
Stone.
I say I like it. I like how
Yeah.
it's implemented. I like what's going down, and it's interesting. When I came out of the house, there's this massive thunderstorm going on,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
and the lightning just looks incredible. It's
Looking-
just like
it looked very
flashing.
close proximity.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to get hit by one of them because I bet you can. I bet you can get struck by that at some point.
I'm still not sure, to be honest.
No.
I'm still not convinced. Like when it turned into Fallout, I was like, oh, I don't mind this anymore. This
Yeah, I was
isn't
going to
so bad.
say maybe that's actually a good
It's like,
thing
oh,
for
that's
you.
not too bad actually. But I didn't like the throwing of the. Thank you, Tara. She just brought some biscuits in.
Aw.
Aw, how nice.
I didn't like the throwing of the screw and all like the weird shit.
Well, I
and-
don't mind because you don't have to do that a lot. You only do that if you get stuck in a place where there's loads of anomalies, which isn't very often at this point. I must admit that's happened a couple of times, really.
I don't know. I'm still unsure. I'm still unsure about it. I'm not convinced. But
Yeah,
I mean, if you have to force yourself to play it, like
Well,
that's a sign in and of itself.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to stick with it because I'm enjoying. I just
And that's
like
cool.
the
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I just
I
like
wish
the
I enjoyed it.
atmosphere. I just like the atmosphere of the game because it's just craziness going on all the time.
just to reiterate,
craziness.
the atmosphere is depressing. That's
Yeah, it
that's-
is, but it's
and
but
Stu
it-
Grim
likes
and
but
it.
gray.
I don't know. I feel like it's engrossing though. It's kind of engrossing that, and it's such a massive world to explore. It's just huge.
It's like an open world Schindler's List.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Goodbye, Jews.
Do you know what though? They sit around the fire and they play some nice tunes, and they chill.
Yeah,
They
bless
chill
them.
in the settlements. You know what I mean? It's not all doom and gloom.
Hmm.
But everyone's out to get everyone, and that's the thing.
Everybody's
There's all these.
every person you talk, Stu, I can't. Sorry, Duke. I can't emphasize this enough. Every person you talk to is so negative. You would
Well,
hate
yeah.
this
What do you want
game.
them to be singing and happy during the apocalypse, building libraries and shit?
Yeah, what are you expecting?
Oh,
They're
that's
gonna-
not likely to be
Yeah.
the case.
Every
Everyone wants-
Thursday, I want them to clap outside their house for the NHS.
Everybody wants to kill everybody.
Pancake Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
not sure.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm gonna
Stu.
go with my gut, Stu, and I'm just gonna stop when I think I'm done.
Yeah,
but
no, that's fair enough.
I'm giving
fair
it a
enough.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You played it more than I expected, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So did
Played
I.
it more than I expected.
But again, he doesn't want to say people to say that. he
It's
can't do
I mean,
something.
just out of interest, has the easy mode made a difference? So it's not quite as punishing,
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and it's still challenging. Don't get me wrong. Even on easy mode, it's not like incredibly easy.
Yeah.
You just get more stuff.
Yeah, I just
more
got
stuff.
loads of like med
Yeah.
kits and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously the damage you sustain doesn't seem that much different, really.
Yeah.
You still get killed a lot.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I like the game. I'm enjoying it. But
Yeah.
horses for courses, as they say.
I'm not saying I hate it yet. I'm
No,
just
I
saying
know.
I'm not sure.
I'm
not
liking it.
sure.
I'm liking the fact you're not saying that.
I'm just trying it.
Okay, we're going to talk some Metal Slug Tactics. So we're going to talk that.
Sure, let's talk about that. Here we go, people. This is the time for Play My Game, bitch.
Yeah, bitch!
Yeah, bitch.
Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
I don't know who recommended this thing, but Jesus, what the fuck?
It was Mike, I believe.
No, it was me.
Oh, was
I
it you?
making fun of myself. Yes. Stupid Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I've played some tactics games in my day, but this is really emphasis on the tactics for this one. The aesthetics I thought were pretty good. There's, interesting sort of pixelized old school graphics. There is some, it's got the flashing square, eye indicators, and it shows you where you're going to go when you run this way or that way, and where your grenade's likely to go off and hit who. But I suck at it. My God, my only note is I'm really bad at this. Because first of all, I was so lost with the story. Because what do you mean once again General Don Morden has escaped? Oh man,
That dude's
I
always
can't believe
getting
this guy
out.
keeps, he's causing so much trouble. You think you put him in a Magneto-style island jail with no access to any metal? Yeah, and there's people are bouncing like in that game Stu was playing, like while you're waiting to give them orders, they're just
Oh
up
God,
and
yeah,
down,
I
just
hadn't noticed that until you
boing,
just said it. Now,
boing,
yeah, they are
boing,
doing.
boing.
Yeah, they are doing.
Yeah, and that's cute. You know, I'm just it's not enough to be like, I'm used to games like this, especially in the early levels. Like, you'll be able to wipe them out pretty easily. You got a lot of hit points. Not in this game. You don't got a lot of hit points. You got like 4 hit points, and if you put your people in the wrong spots, they're getting mowed the fuck down because there's like 10 enemies, and they got more reinforcements coming all the time. And I was just like, shit, I suck. So
yeah, I totally agree. You got too much for me very quickly, and I was like, my old adult brain can't cope with all of this stuff.
I mean, I could if I put the time in. Like, that's the thing, is you have to learn you have to learn how to think tactically.
I mean, I'm looking at this gameplay on screen here, and there's that much going on. I'm like, what?
There's so much going on, and you need the main idea is you need to keep moving, because I'm like, I'm gonna move my person close to this enemy they're gonna shoot, and then they'll shoot them, and they did. But in the meantime, everybody, all the other enemies can shoot you too. Whereas if you keep it moving and you hide behind stuff, then you're less likely to be hurt by their shots. So,
I did like the fact that you can use environmental stuff to do attacks and things. I thought that was kind of cool.
The tutorial felt really cool. I felt like a badass when I was doing the tutorial. And then it's like, okay, now go do this. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's like, oh, you suck. I'm like, okay, I guess I suck.
What do you think, Mike?
I think it's a good one of these, but I don't like these.
Yeah, right.
No, and I don't like these either.
Like XCOM tactical games, I don't like them.
XCOM was a lot more, not handholdy exactly, but forgiving, I guess.
Yeah,
and if you lost a member of your crew, that wasn't a big deal. In this game, it's a huge deal because they just knocked out.
I played.
If you named it after someone you knew.
I played a lot of XCOM. Like, I say a lot. Like, I gave it a good bloody go. You know what I mean? I really tried to get into it because it was massive when it came out. And I tried, and I did like it, but I just don't really find this sort of gameplay compelling for me. I don't know what it is. It's just not my thing, really. But I feel like it's a good one of these. You know, it's well made. The mechanics are good. I think the choice of weapons and different styles and all good. Like, good variation, good animation, all that sort of stuff. But just not my thing, really.
The gameplay loop is not our cup of tea. Yeah.
No, I can appreciate it for what it is, but it's just not my cup of tea.
I go so far to say, like, I'd give it a thumbs up. I'd be happy to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But it's just not.
For the people who like these types of games.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a thumbs down for me, but I recognize the people who like these games will like it.
Yeah.
So but it's just that doesn't equal a thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs down then.
Yes.
Yeah. Personally, a thumbs down, but I can understand why the people who would like these games would like this.
If you like tactics games, and we should know from the, we gave it a try. We were willing to try different things, mostly because we didn't. Yeah, and it's something different from our usual fare on this feature. So and we didn't have a whole lot of options on Game Pass right now. We hadn't already played. So, yeah.
All
right, that's Metal Slug Tactics done.
We've got a choice 2 games. 2 games I feel for this week.
Oh, go on.
One's called Nine Souls.
No.
Which is going to be incredibly hard looking at it. So I was thinking that will probably be a no.
I'm inclined to say no. What's the other
option?
And
then the other one is Aliens, the new Aliens game.
Yeah, it's Aliens. The Aliens. It's
Aliens
like
Dark Descent. It's like isometric
Alien. Twin stick shooter sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
cool.
you can play in co-op.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Oh, all right.
It reminds me a little bit.
The Duchess to give it a shot.
Of Aliens Lara Croft is what it reminds me.
Okay,
those Lara Croft games.
They made a Halo. They made a Halo game like this as well. Like,
they did.
Guardians, I think it was called.
Yeah.
All right.
But it looks pretty. It looks pretty bloody cool, I've got to say. So let's give it a go.
All right.
Give it a go. Okie dokie. I don't really think I have got another game to talk about.
I got another one. My turn.
I'm not going to bother because it's so quick. It's not worth talking
Okay, well, then I'll talk about mine. I'll save the RPG for next week because I can talk about that next week. But the other game I want to talk about this week.
The only thing I've played is Balatro on the mobile phone.
Yeah, well, mine was Bookshot Roulette, so similar type of gameplay, Luke.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Go on, indeed.
All right. So I also went looking through my wish list when the Steam sale hit, and I was like, I'm not really worked up about that. I don't really care. And I was also looking at like the reviews, mostly positive, very positive. This one had overwhelmingly positive. I'm like, all right, and it was like $10 or even less. It might have been $6. It's called Dismantle, DYS Mantle. Which means that it's a dystopia, right? But it's also about dismantling shit. So here's the idea, you ready? This is a very complicated setup. You ready? Okay. Zombie apocalypse. Okay. Hang on. You're in a shelter. All right. Your food's gone. You got to venture out into the bigger world. All right.
Yeah.
You have a crowbar. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
You are destroying everything. And at first you can't destroy too much because your crowbar is not very powerful. So you destroy, bushes and stuff, and you get some sticks. You destroy some like metal things for scrap metal, and you use those to upgrade your crowbar. And then you can destroy more things, and you use those to upgrade your crowbar some more. And then you upgrade your backpack, and you can hold more things. And it's this loop of like, you get more and more powerful to destroy more and more things, and it's so satisfying. And there is combat, but the best thing about this game is that, yes, you have to fight zombies, and at first it's tough because you only have a crowbar and there's not much you can do. And I still haven't gotten any other weapons. I guess I got a sickle, but it doesn't really do much damage, so I'm still using the crowbar to fight the zombies. But there's a thing there's these towers, and you can install something on the tower so that it makes the zombies die permanently.
Oh.
Okay.
So once you have that, it's so much less stressful because before you install that, every time you go to a campfire and rest, the zombies respawn, right? So you get stuff, you go back, and you get all your health back and everything too when you sit at the campfire. So it's very nice, but it's every time you go to the campfire to heal up, you're gonna go right back and fight the same zombies again.
Yeah.
And some of them are legit tough. Like there's this one that spits acid at you, and you gotta like be on your toes and stuff. The combat's very rudimentary. You're just swinging the crowbar and you're not very fast with it, so you have to time it and all that. But you can dive out of the way, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, the other thing it does very well is it says, okay, look, we're asking you to gather a whole lot of resources, right? So we're going to find a compromise between not really management, but you have like 8, or I think you start with 6 slots on your toolbar, right? And every time you gather scrap wood or leaves or whatever it is, it goes into one of those slots, and then you can get like 6 of that item, right? So you have scrap wood, you can get 6 pieces of scrap wood, and then you get leaves, you can get 6, units of the leaves. And then if you get another leaf, it'll go into the next slot, right? So there's you can only carry so much stuff. But there's nothing to do with how much weight you're carrying. And when you go to a campfire and you put it in your supplies box, it's just there. You don't have to manage it. You don't have to worry about how much space you have. And all of the campfire storage boxes are linked. So you don't have to worry about where your stuff is. It got rid of all the stuff that's really not fun about this kind of looting game. And it's just about destroy everything, kill the zombies, figure out how to install this thing into the tower. And, there's boss fights and things like that. And there's like cooking, but you don't really need to worry about the cooking because it's mostly just about boosting your health. So it's a very satisfying gameplay loop because all you're doing is running around just destroying the fuck out of everything. And when you level up the crowbar and you can finally go to smash those toilets that you've seen, you'll get the ceramic you need to make, better shin guards or whatever it is. It's very satisfying because it's like, yes, now I can destroy that. I'm really liking it.
It does look pretty cool. I must admit, I'm watching it now, and I'm thinking, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy I've just been looking on the Steam page, and there's a dude with a character with a hammer, with a giant hammer. So you must be able to get something.
I think you do eventually make different weapons. Like I'm hoping there's a gun at some point because it's pain in the ass to just be swinging the crowbar.
But the whole point of the game is to smash everything up. So I doubt you're going to get a gun.
I know. But, I think it would make the quality of life better if I didn't have to chase after these things with melee weapons. But I don't really mind too much. There is actually a throwing knife that I've got, so that's kind of cool. But you have very few
some
of
ranged
those.
Weapons.
There is some range a little bit here and there, yeah. So, but, it's the iconography is very easy. So you break up a couch and it'll show you these pieces of fabric, and then suddenly you have refined fabric and you can use that later on, but you don't have to keep track of how much you have and all this. It's just so well designed in terms of stripping down to the essentials. What is fun here? Smashing stuff. Okay, let's just make the whole game smashing stuff, and it really is. It's smashing.
It is. You
Smashing.
can see. You
See
see
what I
it's
did there?
smashing.
Yeah.
Smashing stuff.
So big thumbs up for Dismantle. I'm really just getting started on it, but yeah, it's fun to explore. Like you don't know what you're gonna find, and when so the zombies reset when you sit at a campfire, but the materials do not. So you got to keep exploring out and out in order to get the electronics parts you need to fix the tower so it kills the zombies.
Yeah, so
permanently.
it's not like you can just like keep going to a campfire and then everything else respawns and you can just smash
That's
it all up
correct.
all over again.
Right. It does.
I
not work
quite
that way.
like that because obviously,
And so as a result,
out.
Yeah, I was looking for electronic pieces and like I realized there was a part of the map to the north I hadn't explored. So I'm like, all right, let's go see what's over here. I was like, oh shit, there's this whole construction site. And it's like, oh, you're going to build a little base for yourself here. And I'm like, oh shit, now we got into base building. Yes.
Oh, you
that's
had
like
me and
the
then you lost me.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how, I mean, it's one of the quests, but I don't know how much time you're supposed to spend on it because it might just be a small part of it, or an optional thing for those of us who like it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's designed, and it's all it's not hand-holdy, but it is clear. You know what I mean? Like what you need to do is clear, and I don't need you to hold my hand. I need you to allow me to figure it out without too much work. I don't want easy puzzles, but I do want relatively easy puzzles. You know what I mean? Like my preference is at about a 3 or a 4. If Dark Souls is a 10 in terms of like the difficulty and the challenge, I'm looking for a 3 or a 4 because I got plenty of stress in my job. I got all sorts of things I got to deal with in my life. And when I play games, I want it to be a little challenging, but not very much. So this is a perfect 3 in terms of like what you got to figure out. There's a little bit of stuff to figure out, but not too much. So.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Graphics
It does
are
look.
good.
It does look pretty impressive. I must admit. I'm like, ooh, I could buy this.
It's cheap. It's a good. It's a good
cheap.
time to buy it.
I mean,
You
in the
might enjoy
UK,
it.
it's like £5.
Yeah, sure. Go
So
for it. It's a fiver, as you
cheap
say.
Chips, cheap as chips.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stick it in me library and never play it.
You never know. Maybe you'll get lost in it.
Maybe. It does look
Thank
pretty
you,
cool.
Amar. I'll watch that later.
Right.
Okay. Anything else? Or are we moving on?
No, let's move on. I'll be honest. There's no
Okay.
speak pipes, but we have got one email. So,
Jenny, were you watching the news like you said we all ought to? I didn't.
have you got any news? Any news?
I did make some notes.
Oh, hey up. There's news.
Oh,
Ooh.
is there?
Ooh, I don't know.
No.
No.
Okay, no news. Here comes the
No news.
email.
Thanksgiving, so no one cares.
Thank you for no news.
True.
Whoa.
It's
That ruled.
because it's Thanksgiving. No news comes out. Everybody's on
Yeah,
holiday.
well, that's
so
true.
Same as
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
That's true. The one and only email we have this evening is from our regular emailer to the show, which would be Jason.
Oh, I did have a bit of news. Sorry.
Oh,
I
go
did.
on.
Do you want to read the
Go
email
on.
first?
No, go on.
Right. It's
on.
it's barely. Sorry, Jason. I know you're writing in. We do
Go
appreciate it.
on.
It's barely news, but there was a bit of controversy this week about
Go
the
on.
Game Awards. Have you heard about this problem?
Isn't this what happens on Steam?
No. So you know the Jeff Keighley.
Yeah,
Game
the
Awards
big
every
like,
year?
ooh, let's
Oh,
have
right.
a
Steam
million
Awards are
trailers and a few
being
awards in
nominated right now.
between.
Yeah. So there's been a few things announced, like Neil Druckmann's working on a sci-fi open world.
Oh
something.
snap!
Yeah, and Troy Baker's back in it, isn't he?
Yeah, but the other thing was the thing that sort of everybody got in a bit of a shitstorm about was Shadow of the Urk Tree, the DLC for Elden Ring, is in the nominees for
Best game
of the year.
No,
It's not a
you
game,
can't have a
man. It's
fucking-
not a game.
So the argument was,
no.
why is it in Game of the Year when it's not a solitary game?
Now, just to clarify though, I did have Cyberpunk 2077 expansion as my game of the year last
So
year.
you just said no and then contradicted
I
yourself.
know, I know. I just realised.
Make up your mind, dude.
No, I think-
well,
I
I'm
think-
allowed to do it, but I'm
I
not a
think
massive outlet. Am I?
If you're like a shitty gaming podcast like ours,
You do what you want. You can do what you want.
and we just do like best game we've played this year
Yeah.
rather than game of the year because we don't get paid to do this, so we're doing this. out of-
Actually, I didn't because it was Alan Wake 2, wasn't it? But I think that might
but-
have been
but-
number 2.
but
Well, you can
I
do
think
that if you want, but that's
if
not
you-
a requirement.
But
for
the
us.
official, if you're giving out, if you want to give out official awards to games that are credited by developers and their peers and so on, I mean, do I disagree with it? Yes. Am I gonna get up in arms about it? No, because I don't care that much. But I do think it's wrong. I do think it's like it's not. You can't.
We
you
need
can't,
to have categories for sizable DLC.
You do. They do.
Okay, well then it should stick to that.
But they
Get out of
didn't.
my best game shit.
And Jeff Keighley's argument is, I didn't vote for it. It was the judges that did it.
Well, tell the judges they need to have certain.
But, you see,
where we sort things is not the judge's decision.
Yeah, but the book stops with him with this because it's his
exactly.
show. It's a bit like being the president
wants to
or
be the bad
the
guy.
prime minister and going, yeah, but it was all the the other MPs that voted for it. It's not my problem. It's not my problem.
No, I'm probably cutting tax. Oh.
Yes, it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant, is what it is.
Yeah. So that was it anyway. So.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. But like I said, the Neil Druckmann, Troy Baker back together. So I'm expecting good stuff. I
look forward to playing it when I'm 51.
It might persuade me to finally buy a PS5, but it probably won't.
It ain't gonna come out anytime soon.
No, it isn't. No, I'll say
Save up for
finally
a PS6 instead.
Yeah, it'll be a PS7 by the time that thing comes
Yeah.
out. Okay, Jason's email. Let's go back to that again. He says a simple plot of land. Simple plot of land. Veterans, first off, I need to criticize Stu's hatred of the cassette tape. I don't remember saying I hated the cassette tape. Did I do that?
I don't
remember
keep track of
this.
What you hate?
don't remember
You hate
that.
a lot of things.
No, my first Walkman was the best thing I ever owned. I was just like,
Well, why don't you read what he said and maybe it'll remind us.
Well, they are a bit crap because you spool out
Or
and
you
you've got to
just
get a
keep going.
fucking pen in it and all that
Read
stuff.
the Bible.
They're not
Don't
the
worry about
best
getting to your
format
point.
for
I'm going to
music.
live forever.
They're not the best format for music. Second, I would like to
Oh, that was
frown
it,
upon the Game Awards selections.
Oh shit!
Oh,
He saw you
shit.
coming, Shinny, and he beat you to it.
It won the Joystick Game of the Year. You playing that yet, Duke? Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
except for that.
what is he talking about?
No, sorry, I missed a bit.
Way to read
You did
there,
that.
no reader.
You did that the other week as well.
I did. I missed a sentence.
You're getting on. You're getting
I am
on.
getting on. Game Awards selections, except, for the Monkey Game. Don't
The
know what's
Monkey Game?
What the hell? I still don't know what it is, even though I've just read it out. It won the Joystick Game of the Year. What's the Monkey Game?
I'm looking it up now. The
Joystick
Monkey
Game. Just some Joystick Game of the Year. See what that is. You playing that yet, Duke? Because you still don't know what it is. That game predicted the results of the presidential election.
Oh, he's talking about Black Myth Wukong.
Of course.
Right. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I also hear that the studio is run by scumbags. Who are
Look, we're
pretty
not going
sexist
into
and
this
horrible.
again. We're not going into this again.
He asked me a question. I'm telling him.
Yeah,
No.
well, we have a differing opinion on this, so we're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Everywhere we turn, there is someone throwing a wrench in our entertainment. I can't even play a game of Go without some sort of wank fest. But cheers to the Monkey Game. It looks incredible. Third, I would like to ask, do you like the latest God of War or the latest Uncharted better? Because they're both on sale.
Well,
I've
that's a
played
tough
either of
one.
them.
That is tough.
Depends what you want, doesn't it? Because it's completely different
I
games.
know, but they're both very bloody
I mean,
good.
the last Uncharted game, we played this recently, didn't we?
Very
It was a long
recently,
time.
and it's probably my
It
favourite
does hold up.
Uncharted.
It's such a good game.
So good. It's so good.
But it's a movie. It's a game like a movie. God of War, on the other hand, is
a game.
definitely a game.
Yeah.
So it
But it's
depends
so
what you want.
good. Ragnarok
But
is
they
so
are.
good.
I got a bit bored.
Shush.
I really liked the first one, and I got bored. It was a bit like Red Dead 2. I love the first one. Second one, I got a bit bored. It goes on a bit. It drags.
No.
It does.
No.
Mm.
Didn't
Anyway.
go on. Didn't go on long enough.
Yeah, depends what you're looking
Go on longer.
at. Yeah.
It
No,
takes
thank you.
bloody 10 years to make these games. No wonder they're going for so long.
I suppose. Okay, lastly, I know there is a graphic
I think
novel.
you should go for whatever's cheapest because they're both brilliant. So whatever's the cheapest one.
Yeah, whatever's cheapest,
mine.
go with that.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine it'll be Uncharted 4 because that's been out a long
Probably,
time.
yeah. Go with that.
Yeah, so that'll
Probably.
be cheapest. Okay, lastly, I know there's a graphic novel that explores different families over time living in a house.
Here.
Not the same time, but over generations. Now,
Yes.
there was a book with a similar idea, North Woods. Is it good? don't know.
I haven't
I
read
haven't read
Northwoods.
it.
I can't tell you, but the graphic novel here is great. Our guest this weekend, I was like, read this, it'll take you an hour. And the next morning they were like, oh man, I read that. That was great. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe. I also randomly saw a film called Here that copies this idea.
Well, it's
Here.
based on the book.
Oh, well, that's probably why.
That's probably why.
That's
that tends to
probably
happen.
why.
You know, Blade Runner feels a lot like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. They totally ripped it off.
Yeah, they did. Is there a book similar to this concept of different living things over time on one plot of land? Thanks, Jason.
Probably.
I have
I
no
don't know.
idea.
I mean, here is
no
pretty
idea.
revolutionary in that regard, especially because of the layout of the book.
I'll tell you
it's,
what.
It's such a fun thing to read.
I'll tell you what. A book that I read not that long ago. Actually,
It's not going to have anything to do with your question, Jason. Just so you know.
No,
It's a
just-
book.
Wayward
is a book.
Pines. Wayward Pines.
Okay.
Which is it's not that, but it's about some guy who does something.
I just want to talk about a book I read. Go ahead.
But I don't want to say too much about it without giving away the plot because that's obviously
Okay.
integral
I'm never
to
going
it.
to read it.
Yeah, Stalker 2. Who gives a shit?
But
This
it's-
book. You know,
it's
a lot
about-
of listeners might be
It's
reading
about
it.
people being trapped in a town and they don't know why they're there. Should we say?
That sounds
Okay,
like
so it's The
nothing
Stand.
like the plot saying.
No,
Hey,
no, no.
did I
But there
call it or
are
what?
there are some similarities to that.
What, like-
There are
no
people in both books.
In
That
John.
it's a book?
way.
It
but
is
it's
a
a
book, and there's
book.
places.
And there's a place where they all where
People
there
and
always
things.
are. It's the same place in different.
Sounds like Throne and Conquest from
Yeah.
Michael Clayton.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but Wayward Pines, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's like 3 books, and it's
Three
pretty.
books.
Yeah, it's a 3-book series.
Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
man,
And it
triple
was
nerd.
it was made into a TV show, but it only ran for. And M Night Shyamalan had a hand in it, so you know that
Oh dear.
first series was apparently pretty good. Second
Uh,
series, not so much. It diverted a lot from the books on the second series.
I gave up on him after Signs. Man, that movie sucks.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but yeah, Wayward Pines, give it a go. It's pretty good. So anyway,
Okay. Great.
thanks,
What's next?
Jason. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. We
Thank
appreciate you writing in.
Jason.
Man, it's feast and famine. Last week we had 17 quizzes and 25
I know.
emails.
Well, this is what
week we got
happens.
1.
That's what happens.
Sure-
That's
sure.
So now
how-
we got to beg people again to send
Well, we
emails
did
to
that last week, and then no one did.
podcastvguk.podcast@gmail. Wait, I wrote it down.
Sean,
I got it here.
Thiel-
vgpodcastuk@gmail.com.
Yeah, email us. Sean Thiel said, "Hey Chenny, does Halo Wars still hold up?" And I
Yeah, does
said,
it?
Yes, it
Hold
does,
up.
but no one plays it anymore. And then
Yeah.
Colin Allcar says, "Red Dead Redemption 2 did not drag. You are wrong." And I replied, "Correct."
Jason's put in the chat. Read the email again. I don't know whether that's for clarification or just
No.
because we haven't got any other emails.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's pretty funny. You know, every email he sends is kind of like 2 emails, especially when Stu reads it wrong. We did read it again.
I know.
so-
Well, only one sentence, to be fair.
Yeah,
Mm.
I guess so. Stu
Oh,
is
Stu
off.
is so off. Off about what? I
Yeah.
don't even know what I'm off about. I don't
Just
know.
off.
I'm just off in general. I just smell like an
Yeah.
old moldy piece of Stilton.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So no other emails. It's time for shout outs.
I think it is time for shout outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I
Stu
guess
is
I'll
off.
go first.
Just a minute. It says Northwoods is a book. I don't know. I didn't mention Northwoods not being a book as far as I'm aware. I don't know.
Mm.
He's asking about.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you read the email wrong. He says he's asking about a game. Is there a game that does that?
No, he says now there was a book with a similar idea, Northwoods. It
Yes,
is good. I
right.
also randomly saw a film called Here that copies
Right.
this idea, and you said it's the
Yes.
same. It was based
Right.
on.
It's
the
based
book.
on the movie
That
here is
has
based on
nothing
the
to
book
do-
here. No, keep reading.
No, he said no. He says it's similar idea, Northwoods.
Yes, keep
Also
reading.
good, but he's saying it's based on that book. Is there a book
Right.
similar to this concept or of
Oh,
different living
Well,
things?
maybe
over
he
time
meant
on
to
one
say, is
plot
there
of
a
land?
game similar to this concept?
I don't know. He just says, is there a book similar to this concept?
Okay, Jason, we don't know what you're telling us in the chat. Maybe you
Oh,
got
well,
it
you
wrong when
fucking
wrote
wrote the
email.
wrong word. Look at your email again.
Let's argue
Dick.
about this some more. Great listening.
Dickhead. You bloody dickhead
Yes.
calling me out when you're wrong.
So listen to
Bloody
the show live, and you can
fucking
get
knob.
insulted.
How
by
you told
Stu.
the story was
You
by far the worst
stupid
part of the
bellend.
story.
Bellend. That's an insult
All right.
I haven't heard for a while.
So
Is there
anyway,
a book?
I'm going
Is there
to
a
shout
bloody
out.
book?
Oh, for God's
There we
sake!
go.
Just let me know when you're done.
Like anybody fucking gives a shit.
I'm gonna shout out Antonio because I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, and then I noticed that someone on my team is in green, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" I guess they must have joined my party or something. You can't join a party. I don't want to join some rando. He's trying to become my friend or something. And then afterwards, he sends me a thing on because I turned my settings off. I was like, I don't want random people just joining my team. And then he sent me a WhatsApp. He's like, "Hey, that was me." And I'm like, "Oh shit, that was Antonio." And he's like, "My name is GH." And I'm like, "I actually didn't even look at the name. Sorry, dude." So anyway, we teamed up and he was telling me, oh God, I don't know if that's public knowledge yet. So never mind. I won't say it because I think he's probably cool with it, but I don't know. So anyway, yeah, but it was just cool to catch up with him because it had been a while and they've moved back. Him and his lady have moved back to, England, and they've set up in their home. And I was on team chat only, so we could just talk, me and him. But I think he had it on like a whole room chat because he was telling me something, and then everyone's like, "Oh, all right," and he was like, "Oh, whoops!" Everybody heard that. So I don't know. The sound settings on Call of Duty are a little confusing, I guess. But it was just great to play with him. So thank you, Antonio, and cheers to you.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Ginny.
Let me know if I can say that other thing. Go ahead.
Ginny.
Yeah, shout out to Antonio because I know that other thing as well.
Okay.
Why am I the only one out of the loop here?
Because I talk to people.
That's true.
Ricey, shout out to Ricey.
Ricey.
Because he mentioned the chap, you know, the Half-Life 2 documentary that I told you to both
Oh,
watch?
yeah, I know. I haven't
watched
had a
it?
chance yet,
You
but I
watched
will
it?
do. No, have I yet?
Do you fucking homework?
I bloody well.
It was made by a chap called Danny O'Dwyer. That was the chap's name. I couldn't think of it. And he has a production company called No Clips, and he makes gaming documentaries, and he also has a podcast. So, yes, Danny O'Dwyer. And I'm going to subscribe to. He's an Irish fellow. He worked for a lot of like the big outlets, and yeah, big fan. Like that guy.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll shout out Antonio. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, well,
but I'll shout him. I'll shout him out all the time.
Because we love him and he's a good guy.
I'm going to shout out Armar because he hasn't been in the chat for a while. So shout out.
I would also like to shout out Armar. He was in the chat last week. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out.
Armar. I might have to come to Glasgow for work.
Oh, so
but
you
it
might get to come to Glasgow.
It won't be till November. So
November
2025.
Next year. Bloody hell. I'm also going to
shout cooking now.
Shout out Lewis and Dan, obviously, for another great gaming night. We have some fun, even if it does get a bit competitive. A little bit competitive. But it's good fun all the same. I just think we have so much fun trying out these new games. They're very patient because I'm old. You know, when you're reading all these complicated rules and trying to work out how the fuck you play these new games. It took about 25 minutes just to work out how to play Villainous, let alone play it. But do you know what's great about Villainous? Once you know what you're doing, it's pretty straightforward. Once you know what you're actually doing.
Yeah, that's true about a lot of these games. I just find it frustrating. You have to spend half an hour figuring it out first. But
Scream, by the way, Scream took about 5 seconds to figure out what to do. That was very quick.
Well, yeah.
But not so much Villainous. But now we know how to play that. We'll be able to play the other Villainous games and know what we're doing.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like when the Duchess and I sat down to play Wingspan, we figured it out. We spent like half an hour figuring it out, and then we're like, okay, next time we play it, it'll be smoother. And then like a year later, we're like, okay, let's play it again, and we play it. And we're like, we still have to spend half an hour to figure it out. Yeah, so it's like, okay, but next time, and it's been a year, we still haven't played it again. So
you know, I nearly bought Wingspan because that was in the sale as well. So I was looking at that. But...
I want to get like Cranium, man. That's a good game you can just pick up and start playing.
Oh, Cranium's good.
It's a good game.
I'll tell you what we played.
On Parks and Rec, so it's like,
I'll tell you what we played that nobody plays apart from us. But this isn't.
I bet I can chop your left hand off.
No,
I have never lost a game of that.
I bet you haven't. Nerdy Board Games. This is just with the fam. So this is a fam game.
Yeah.
Which is Triominoes. Have you ever played Triominoes?
Yes, I used to play those solitaire because I didn't know how it works. I just put them together in weird combinations when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, we don't do the scoring thing, kind of. We just play it as like dominoes, but with Triominoes. But when we last played, Millie's boyfriend Adam, he got, you know, where you get the hexagon or whatever, and you make one, you just get loads of points for that if you're playing it in real rules. And then got a double one. It's like a double hexagon. Like, yeah, how much would that be worth? But we just play till we chip. So it's just like, well, it's a great game. It makes your brain think a little bit more than normal dominoes. I like it.
Yeah.
So if you've never played it, try Ominoes is definitely worth a shout for an interesting, like, variation on DOMs.
Can't say the thing. Antonio's like, nope. Oh, no, wait. No,
What?
now he said it is okay.
Oh, it is okay.
No,
Well,
He said not public, so I'm not.
No,
He
don't.
said not public. No.
Well, they went not public, then yeah, no, it's fine.
His penis has fallen off.
Oh, he's got no wiener.
Look, we don't need to make fun of him because his penis fell off.
Has he no wiener either?
All right, are we done? Is this over?
I think so.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, good night, much love.
Last words? Okay.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you?
All the kids in Springfield are SOB.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, turning up slow to me. Won't you? Won't you? Why don't you? We're not giving you money.
But he's got a new hat.
All right, another show in the bag. Now I can focus on these essays I got to grade. They're not entire essays. I just got to grade one paragraph. But there's 10 more in this class, and then I got another class to do. God damn, kids.
How many per
Stop
class?
waiting so much. Well, there's 20 kids or 25 kids in most classes, but like half of them didn't do it. So like, there's a part of me that's like, why didn't you do it? You knew it was supposed to be done by today. And there's another part of me that's like, yes, one more paragraph I don't have to grade.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's no wonder those kids have bad writing, is it? You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Jesus. Bad grammar. Because they don't do the bloody homework.
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you.
It's no wonder the bloody
But
crap
you know
at
what? There's a lot
writing.
of kids in the UK who probably don't do their homework either.
Also,
Shakespeare said in 1597, love goes toward love like schoolboys from their books. Kids have always hated school.
Also, studies have shown that homework doesn't actually improve intelligence.
There you
And
go.
Antonio said it's okay for us to say that he's going to be a dad.
Hey, I like it. Congratulations, as they say. Congratulations.
Yes. As they say. Like it's some obscure saying that nobody's heard of before.
It is.
they
It
say
is.
in
Very
foreign
obscure.
land,
As they
it's
say,
As they
it's-
say, we're
it's
happy
Norfolk,
for you.
UK.
Yes. That's very exciting. April is the due date. So,
Oh, not long then.
yeah.
Not long. Ooh.
Yeah.
5 months. 5 months.
I
soon a
was
year.
like, we're not going to say it. He's like, you're welcome to. Mrs. gave her approval. I was like, it's not public, but you should go for it. He's like, it'll be public soon. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, now it's the whole world's going to know because the veteran
Considering
gamer said it.
that many people listen to us. Oh,
This guy, we knew him when he was 12.
we did, and
And
now,
now he's
going
going to have a 12-year-old soon.
It's just weird.
The
It's just so
circle
weird.
of life.
The circle of
Yeah.
life.
What's next? Jason Gallagher? Well, I guess he already has. Does he have kids? I think he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He already has
So
kids.
who's
He's
next?
our age. Ish.
Yeah, I
do.
know.
You.
But that didn't mean, yeah, no, that's definitely not happening.
He's got a kid. He's got goats. He's got a
I
kid.
got goats, kids.
He got kids.
I did that with a student recently. She's like, "You don't have kids, Mr. P." I was like, "Yeah." Wait, no. Ask me
Yeah, I
again.
do.
And then I was like, "Yeah." I showed him the goats picture. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So, okay, I got to go grade these papers.
You do.
Have a good week, y'all.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble
And
indeed.
I'll talk to you later.
See you in a bit.
Yeah,